Welcome, dead and lovely listeners, to the greatest horror movie review podcast in the galaxy and beyond. Why, it's dead and lovely, here with your good friends. Why, it's me, Downtown Uncle Ben.
Downtown Uncle Ben. And me, Hollywood Steve.
Oh, yes, indeed.
It's weird that you're dressed like Downtown Julia Brown.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm getting
Which is
character.
a reference the kids will get.
Yeah, oh yeah, kids are all about that
They
stuff.
love Downtown
all
Julia
about
Brown.
that stuff. How you been this week, Steven?
It's only been a few days since we last recorded.
Yeah, we're trying to get on this new schedule and stuff, so we're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, it's been good though. I've had a good few days.
Yeah.
Basically just had the Friday night streaming chat, watched some football, and went and watched Dr. Sleep a little bit ago.
That's right.
Which by now you guys probably have seen the mini-sode up. Go check it out.
Good deal, man. Good deal. Yeah, I've had myself a pretty damn good week this week too, man. It's been amazing how much extra time I have when I'm not trying to get my household and driving to Knoxville all the fucking time. Yeah, like when you live here, you don't have to drive here.
It's crazy, yeah.
It's the craziest thing
you
I've
just
ever
wake
heard
up
of.
there.
Yeah. Like I had really one major day that I left Knoxville this week. And it's
you had to
teach.
go work, yeah.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
And even at that, that's fine. Like,
yeah.
I like driving.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, driving can be fun. I don't know. I get really stressed about driving because I don't like crowds, and I especially don't like crowds of cars.
The old crowds of cars, huh? Traffic.
So
it's called.
traffic. Yeah, that's what they call it.
I think next time I see like a bunch of traffic, I'm like, look at this crowd of cars. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. But if there's whenever I would be driving home from your place after we recorded, perfect drive. There's never anybody in the way.
Oh yeah, it's late
it's
as
just
hell at night.
the interstate, like 2 a.m.
The open road.
Open road, just fine. I love driving when it's like that, or on back roads when there's nobody else behind you or in front of you.
Yeah,
that's nice. But the second somebody gets behind me on a back road, I'm like, fuck.
Not so much.
I hate you.
And dude, to celebrate all this newfound free time that I've had, I've had time to watch myself a couple of films this week.
What you been watching?
Dude, it's crazy how much time you have when you live in the city.
It's true.
I'm loving it. I'm a fan. So, for one, the other night, we happened to sit down and watch ourselves a Mulan.
Oh, okay.
Mulan, it's
I haven't
called.
seen that in a long time.
I am unsure if I have ever seen it.
Okay.
I thought that I had.
How did you feel about it?
I felt that it was awesome.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. It is very gay.
Is it?
Very gay movie.
I saw a video about that. Somebody pointing out all of those.
Dude, go back and watch it again.
Yeah?
You're going to be like, how was this news? It'll be like whenever everybody was like, Elton John's gay. It's like, well, no shit.
Ricky Martin's gay. Yeah, we knew.
No
George
kidding.
Michael's gay. Yeah, we all knew these things.
We know. Yeah.
What are you going to say? Boy George is gay next?
No.
We know.
Whenever you go back and watch Mulan, you'll really be like, this was... I think that movie was really just like predicting an entire generation of kids that are just like, maybe I'm unsure if I'm just a boy or a girl.
Okay.
And was trying to make a movie for
So
them.
Mulan not only holds up, but actually has a message.
More relevant now.
Yeah, okay.
More relevant now.
Because that era of Disney movies isn't my favorite.
No.
Lion King's great. Little Mermaid, great. Pocahontas is terrible.
Not a fan.
I fucking hate it. It's so
Honestly,
bad.
It's been so long since I watched it. I can't say I have any feelings about it.
Hercules is fine.
Hercules is fine.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie.
It's a fun movie. Yeah. What else you got? Emperor's New Groove.
That's my number one.
That one's
10
a great
out of 10.
one. Yeah.
I love Emperor's New Groove.
But it's all a little weird. Like it's all different than stuff they had done up to that point. Like there was just that era where they were like, let's see. I guess the early '90s wasn't like the best time for Disney.
Yeah.
And they were just trying stuff out, and some of it worked, and some of it is. Bleh.
Yeah.
Bleh.
Mulan was pretty good.
Yeah.
Give it another watch sometime. It's pretty enjoyable. Last night I had myself a little double feature.
Okay.
We watched ourselves A Nightmare Before Christmas.
All right. Emily's been listening to that in the car, so normally when I get in the car, it's playing.
Well, that's usually our kind of go-to, like after Halloween, before Christmas.
Yeah.
That's where that movie goes.
Yeah.
Watched it last night. Very enjoyable romp.
Still great.
Still a really fun flick. There's so much stuff in there that I watch, and I'm just like, God damn, how much time did it take him to make that shit?
Forever. All by hand almost, right? Like, I don't think they
think
really...
it's entirely by hand.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how anybody gets into doing stop motion. That, to me, would be like hell on earth.
Have you've seen that episode of Parks and Rec where Adam Scott's character, after he gets fired, he starts to do a stop motion thing, and he'd been working on it for like a week, and it's just like 4 seconds of
And that's how it is.
Yeah.
That is how it is.
That's
man.
exactly how it is.
Fucking amazing. So that was a good watch. And then after that, Kate fell asleep on the couch, and I happened to turn myself on a little flick while I was changing some guitar strings. Something I'd seen before, something that I know and love, and I thought I can just have this on the TV.
What it is.
And be weirded out by a bunch of nonsensical silliness that was made by somebody that doesn't know how humans work.
Okay. Dario Argento, I guess.
Correct.
Okay.
Phenomena.
All right.
It's on Shudder right now, and I was like, well, watching this. Mm-hmm. It is such a balls-ass weird fucking movie.
Yes, it
dude.
is.
It is a weird, silly, strange flick. Episode number 1 of our show.
Remember all those sweet burns that the students come up with?
We worship you. We worship you. Remember her poster of her dad?
That was weird.
Why?
This is my rock star dad.
I hang up his poster in the dorm room.
Ooh, weird.
It is just such a goofy Looney Tunes movie, dude. I have to wonder if Argento is just like on all the Italian cocaine while he was making that stuff. It makes no sense.
You know he's just snorting mozzarella and shooting up tomato sauce.
I'm so high on spaghetti. Let's film the scene where you eat the baby food.
I forgot about the baby food.
She's baby food.
That's crazy.
Off the back end of a toothbrush.
Yeah. What?
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I have no idea.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love
really
that fucking movie, dude. So I watched that last night, and in the middle of all this stuff, as I've been like working around the apartment or walking the dog or whatever, I started myself a little audiobook in celebration of Novampire.
Yeah.
In celebration of our main event that we got coming up later this month. I started doing the audiobook of Twilight.
Oh, right, man. Yeah. How's it going? Is it great? Do you love it?
It sure is going, Steve.
It's going. It is not stopping.
No, it is not stopped yet. It's a continuous audiobook. Holy shit.
It's really bad.
What a pile of garbage.
Yeah.
What a pile of garbage.
How did it ever get to the point that it got to, where it's a best-selling, like everybody is reading this?
I don't know. Honestly, what it all comes down to is people love hearing their own voice that they have in their head in print. So whenever you read that shit, it's like, this seems like something that my, 14-year-old niece would have written.
Yeah.
And she was just a very typical girl,
Well, it's comprehensible, I guess, for people who can't really get deep into literature. There's nothing hard to understand about it. No. It's very straightforward.
Dude, I've just gotten to the parts where, like, she starts going to school and fucking Edward, like, is grossed out by her and, like, hates her, obviously. She's like, he was immediately just, like, raging, fuming, angry, looking at me and shit. It makes no sense, dude.
Well, it's because of that sweet blood she's got.
I haven't gotten to that yet.
Dude, her blood's so awesome, vampires just can't fucking restrain themselves.
That's really gross.
It's that great 17-year-old blood. Wait, is she 17 in the first one?
I can't remember. She's old enough to drive because her dad gives her a truck. And so far, she has said my favorite line in the book so far is,
let's hear.
I never look a free truck in the mouth.
Yeah?
That's a sentence people would say.
Yeah.
I never look a free truck in the mouth.
Never look a free truck in the
truck mouth.
In the truck. Let me look in your truck mouth. Oh, those are bad teeth. I don't want this free truck.
Yeah, get this truck out of here. What if trucks had teeth? Just a big crowd full of cars with teeth.
What if trucks had teeth? I'd love it. It would be great.
This book is fucking terrible.
It's really bad.
It is a pile of dog shit. Very stupid.
I didn't just imagine then reading 50 Shades of Grey, which is fanfic from Twilight.
It can't be good.
Twilight is basically just Interview with a Vampire fanfic.
Yeah.
So it's fanfic on fanfic. Ooh.
What have you been watching this week, Steve? Anything good?
Yeah. Well, let's see.
What'd you do for the streaming chat?
Yeah, I was going to say, let's get the streaming chat out of the way first before we talk about good stuff.
Oh, I finally got Shudder now. So.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so cool. I can join in with the Joe Bob stuff.
Oh, cool. So the first movie that we watched was actually not terrible.
Okay.
What is it? What was it? What was the title of it?
It was that one. That's the one.
Jesus Christ. Fuck. It's Dark Knight of the Scarecrow.
I don't know that one. Dark Knight of the Scarecrow.
Yeah, I think it's like 80.
Is it a Batman movie?
Yep. We made those jokes. Yeah, we kept expecting that to happen, but it's like 80 or 81. I would say the first half of it is a good movie, and then it turns into a whodunit. And that's actually been an issue with a couple of movies we've done for the Friday Night Stream and Chat, where it's like, starts out as a good horror movie, then turns into a whodunit, and it's like, this is stupid. This is useless. So we watched that, and then we watched Sharkenstein. I'm gonna guess from the title that this is a Frankenstein type creature that's made of sharks. Yep, that's it. Well, it kind of says it right there on Front Street for you. Most of the people that Sharkenstein kills are on land. Oh, land Sharkenstein. Eventually, it gets arms. It has arms. Arms. Are they like shark arms or people arms? Like people arms. Dude. It's really, really fucking bad, but it was funny. It was really funny by like how bad it was fun, which is what Friday Night Stream and Chat is all about. Yeah, exactly. So, but on the good side of things, I finished Letterkenny. I just finished the most recent season. Letterkenny, go watch it. So you feel like it's something that I should definitely check out? Yeah. Damn. Great fucking show. Awesome. I think every season's like 6 or 7 episodes. So it's not even like, and they're only like 20 to 25 minutes long. How many seasons are there? 7. Wow. Yeah. Been around for a minute. A little bit, yeah. Does it get like progressively better and better, or does it all just kind of stay? I think it just stays at a consistent level of awesome. But yeah, it improves as the story gets more and more, elaborated. Okay. But it's awesome from the beginning. So go watch that. I finished 30 Rock, and not this most recent Stream and Chat, but the Stream and Chat before that, we were talking about The Office, and I was talking about how I can't watch The Office. I don't do cringe humor. I don't like it. I hate it. Do you mean just like people being awkward like they are in real life and being lame and stupid? Yeah. I just feel like super embarrassed while watching it, and I don't sympathetic laugh. Embarrassment. Yeah, I don't laugh. So I've never watched all of The Office. If it helps you to get into it and enjoy it. Yeah. I don't mean to spoiler alert. It's a scripted show. That's true. They're acting. That is true. Yeah. That helps some. So whenever Steve Carell is doing something where he like thinks he's being really cool or funny, but it's not. It was written that way. Oh. Yeah. It's fiction. It's a fiction show. It is a fictional show. Yeah. Gotcha. It's a story. Make believe. Pretend. What I did was I just skipped to the first season. I know. Everybody out there's like, the British Office is far superior or whatever. Yeah. No, it's not, because it's extremely cringy and I can't watch it. It makes me feel like vomiting, like I'm so embarrassed by it. I don't think I've ever watched any of the British one, honestly. I have tried to watch it. Yeah. I cannot stand it, and I can't stand the first season of The Office. So I went straight into the second season, and I'm easing into it, trying to watch an episode and just see how I feel. Put your toes in the water. But it's okay. I don't get why people love it so much. See, the thing is for me is the only bits of The Office that I've watched are the first season. Yeah. Which I think everybody has said. It's like, it's not really the best. Because they're just they're doing what the British Office did, but in America. Yeah, exactly. So I haven't watched any of the later stuff. I see like clips and things that crack me up. Yeah, they're funny. People tell me about it and I laugh about it, but I've never sat down and really like watched it. I don't care about the Jim and Pam stuff. I just don't care about it. Yeah. It seems like it gets in the way of the show being funny. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But Steve Carell's hilarious. Yeah. It's a hilarious cast of people. And there are some extremely funny moments. Well, my problem that hopefully I'll get as into it as everybody else seems to be. Yeah. My problem that I've had with it, too, is every time that I've tried to watch it, and again, this is one of those things that people that love The Office are just kind of like fucking throw their phone across the room when I say this. Whenever I watch The Office, I'm just like, I don't know. Parks and Rec was like really good. Parks and Rec's way better. Because I've watched all of Parks and Rec, and obviously it learned a lot from The Office. Yeah, the first season of Parks and Rec is basically The Office ripoff. Yeah. And then the second season is when they become their own thing. Yeah. So I don't know. Whenever I watch The Office, I'm just like, I don't know. Parks and Rec did this better. Maybe that's total blasphemy to say, but it is probably. But I think Parks and Rec is better too. All right. I mean, they're the same. It's all Mike Schur. He's also responsible for Brooklyn Nine-Nine and The Good Place, and I like all those shows. So I'm trying to give The Office a fair shake. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get to the Scott's Tots episode. I think I'm going to skip it.
What's that?
Michael Scott promises all these kids that he's going to send them to college and then forgets about it. And then they're all about to go to college and he has to tell them that he can't send them to college.
That's very bad.
Yeah. I only watched half of it the one time. I did try to watch it, and I was like, fuck, no, stop. I can't do
can't
this.
Do it. Just can't handle it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's pretty funny that we're sitting here on like a horror movie podcast where we watch like the most gruesome, brutal things, but that you're like, he can't not send those kids to college.
Yeah, I think I'd rather watch Irreversible before watching Scott's Tots.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No. Woof.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, I'd like to get a pull to that.
Me
How about
too.
that? How about we get ourselves
Let's
something
pull on it
to wet our whistles with?
Yeah, my whistle's getting dry.
So I've got something here that I picked up from the Merchants of Beer in
MOB.
old downtown Knoxville. Now, this is a beer from the Maine Brewing Company from
We've
Freeport,
had a couple
Maine.
from them before.
Yes, indeed. We had that fantastic lunch IPA.
So good.
Just so good. This is one that they just put out for the season. It is called Fall. It is their coffee
That is
stout.
this season.
That's the season that we're in right now.
Oh, okay.
It's the season of the Wish.
Must be the season of the wish.
I've had one of these before. It is a delicious coffee stout.
Oh, wow. That's black.
Perfect for this chill in the air we've been going through.
Nice chocolatey head on it. Man, that looks great.
It was pretty nice outside in Tennessee today, but man, we've had some nights that have been getting down into like the 30s.
Yeah, in a couple days it's supposed to be below freezing and snow.
I think Tuesday, they're calling for like some snow if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this beer in a glass, due to its color and effervescence, if you look at the bottom part, you could say that was like Coke or Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, it's so dark.
It's a rich, deep brown color.
And then, that nice, like, chocolatey head on it.
It's a 5.6%.
Oh, it smells great.
Oh, yeah. And the text on here says, as the leaves begin to change and cooler nights predominate, we celebrate the turn of the season with a new beer. Fall developed from our former pilot beer series and is a stout made with cold brew coffee that was selected by our friends at Coffee by Design.
Okay.
I want you to see what you think about that.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's mighty fine. I poured mine with a generous frothy head on it over here. Tip you off over here. How good is that?
Oh,
it's so coffee-y.
Yeah.
And not sugary.
And also, unlike most stouts, like it leaves behind a nice chocolatey coffee taste, but it's not like there's no sweet, like sickly sweetness to it. Like it really just is kind of a dry.
Yeah, that's
stout.
what it is. It's like a dry coffee stout. Yeah. And nor does it have that like musty, basementy thing a lot of really dark beers have that I don't like.
Coffee.
It's just really fucking good.
God damn right.
It's interesting because it's a lot different than our other favorite coffee beer, that Gotta Get Up to Get Down by Wiseacre.
Yeah, that's a great one.
It's so good. And this is very different.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
I'd say the Wiseacre one's a little more milky. Got more of a creaminess to it. This is much more like coffee.
Yeah.
Like a nitro brew.
So good, man. Yeah, Maine Brewing Company, they don't fuck up.
They do not.
They do not fuck up. So if you ever find their stuff, it's always just got a good, simple, plain white label on it.
And if the Maine beer company wants to sponsor us, getting them DMs. Slide into them DMs.
Slide on in, y'all. Very cool. You watched anything else good? Played any video games this week, Steve?
Oh, yes, I did. So we talked last week about how, it's unfortunate that most people, when they play Mario 3, they just skip
the levels. Yeah,
so
good stuff.
I decided I'll just play every single world, every single level.
Nicely done.
I've because I've only had short amounts of time to do it from time to time. I just got to level 6, so I just passed the giant world, which was awesome.
Yeah, that giant world's so cool.
And then the ice world. So now I'm in level 6. I don't even know. I haven't started it yet, so I don't remember what the theme of it is. But it's a great game. Super Mario Brothers 3, great game with a lot of levels that I don't remember at all because I never really played them.
Yeah. It is a really good one in the series. Tight play controls, great soundtrack,
great,
innovative level design,
really fun.
It's a winner. Well, Steve, the subject of our show today. Keeping going with our Novampire. Our third annual Novampire. We're going to be talking about Interview with An Vampire.
And Vampire Rice.
Yeah, this is one of those things that the Mandela effect really, really fucked with, because a lot of people remember this as Interview with a Vampire.
A Vampire, but it's The Vampire.
It's The Interview with an Vampire.
The Interview with an Vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that does sound right.
It's better that way. The Vampire Chronicles.
Yeah, because Christian Slater, he starts the recording, and he's like, I'm talking to an vampire.
Yeah, this is The Interview with an vampire. And this is a movie, dude, that I'll tell you what. It is just a sexy, smoldering hunk fest.
It is.
You know?
Antonio Banderas.
Oh, my Lord. You got a Brad Pitt in there.
Pitt. Pure
a TC,
hunk.
A Cruise. You got all kinds of other fops and dandies.
There are fops, there are dandies. Yep.
Just hunks all over the place.
Hunks galore.
A sexy movie. I don't know if this is like maybe the first time that they tried making cinematic vampires a sexy, because they're definitely a far cry from, let's say, a Nosferatu.
Yeah, they are.
Or Boris Karloff.
And this is following, of course, Christopher Lee's more, I don't know, like the Hammer performances and his performances in the Spanish language, or I guess they were just produced by Spanish.
Yeah.
His performances were a little more alluring. I'd say Bela Lugosi a little more alluring, but they weren't supposed to be hunks.
Yeah.
They were supposed to have this like
out.
weird power over people, but not like automatically attractive. These guys are just automatically attractive.
You know what I really wish? The same way that we had that whole line of like Hammer features, like those classic vampire flicks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Don't you just wish that MC Hammer would have this late in life turn and be like, I'm remaking the Hammer movies.
But with me in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And me producing them.
Yep.
And they're just all the classic movies that we know and love.
I can't wait.
But with Hammer.
I would love for this to happen. Stanley? What was his name? Stanley Ipkiss? Is that his name?
What? Is it?
I can't remember.
No.
Or is that the guy from The Mask?
That's
Stanley
the guy from The
Ipkiss.
Mask. MC Hammer the Mask. You get him confused all the time. Everybody does.
I just remember the MC Hammer cartoon where he had the dancing shoes that talk.
Oh
and
my
I think
God.
his name is Stanley. It's not Stanley Ipkiss,
What
but
kind of
I think his
fucking
name is
crackhead made that shit up?
Well, it came on before the New Kids on the Block cartoon where they had a pet dog for some reason. What they would do back then was go, what things do we already have animated? Okay, can we slap the New Kids on the Block's faces on them? Boom, we've got a cartoon.
The kids will love it.
Yeah.
And then we did watch it.
We did, but it didn't last. So obviously the kids didn't love it.
Well, Steve, this movie really just dialed it up. Was just throwing so many of those Hollywood hunks at us. And man, it just really got me thinking.
Yeah.
I say before we get into the movie review portion here and start breaking down our thoughts on Interview with an Vampire, I say we just slide on into the Preview Palace.
Welcome to the Preview Palace.
And maybe we just do our listeners a solid favor and give them two straight cis white guys guide to hunks.
Yeah.
We're an authority.
Now, we should admit, before we even start this list, that we both had to stop ourselves because the lists were getting too long.
It kind of got away from us a little bit. Like, I proposed this idea, and it's like, okay, let's both list down, like maybe 3 hunks that we could talk about on here. And then the pen started scribbling, man. It was like automatic writing coming from my primordial lizard brain.
Finally, we can admit it.
Yeah, I know. We stopped because we were like, this might just end our marriages if we keep on going with this.
In the end, I'm after Idris Elba.
So we're going to give you guys our list of completely unauthoritative ideas of who straight guys think are probably hunks.
Yeah, that was kind of my list, was thinking of the dudes that my wife thinks is attractive. Because for me, it's like, I see the set of features it takes to be attractive, but sometimes I'll go like, oh, I think that guy has them, and my wife will be like, no.
I know. I just thought of another one while we were talking about this. This list is growing. I know what you mean, though. And then there's other wild cards where there's other dudes, so I'm like, well, that guy's fucking hideous, right? He looks like a caveman.
Yeah, and then like,
women are like, oh no,
I like
smoking.
caveman.
Yeah. It's really weird. It's one of those things that as just a straight dude who's not into dudes that way. Yeah. I have no idea.
I think it's because
works.
we don't have a sexual connection to it. We're looking for an objective truth.
Probably,
but when we think about women, we know that that's true as well. That some dudes find this woman attractive and some dudes don't find her attractive.
True.
It's not really Like, no one's objectively attractive. Except for Idris Elba, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's pretty universal.
Yeah, we can all agree.
You know, let me just kick this list off with somebody who I think of as looking like a classic chiseled hunk of a man.
Yeah.
Somebody who I think about, like, what's a man look like? John Hamm.
Yeah.
That's a handsome motherfucker right there,
John
right?
Hamm is also very funny.
That's what I like about him. That's what works for me.
Yeah.
He's good looking and funny.
Yep. He's got that classic handsome man face and that, like, handsome man booming voice.
Yep. Yeah, he's got that voice too. You're right. Yeah. And I think we all know him from like Mad Men and stuff like that. But yeah, whenever you see him on like 30 Rock and shit like that, and you see that he also knows how to like be really fucking funny and stupid. Like, dude, him in Kimmy Schmidt.
Yes.
Hysterical. To me, there's something that's so great, male or female, about seeing anybody who's extremely attractive acting like an idiot.
Yeah.
Big fan. P.S. This is neither here nor there. Did you happen to see Heidi Klum's Halloween costume this year?
No.
Oh my fucking
what was
God. Everybody listening to this, seriously, stop the show for just a second. Look up Heidi Klum's Halloween costume that she did this year. She always does these crazy elaborate Halloween costumes and shit, right?
Okay, that makes sense. She's got money.
Yeah. And for this year, they did her entire like 8-hour fucking makeup and prosthetics thing in this storefront of like I guess there's like an Amazon storefront in New York or something.
Huh.
Yeah, okay. I don't know anything about it. But they dressed her up and did all of her prosthetics and stuff in front of the store window. She's like this Frankenstein woman, but she's like nude, and she has like all these like biomechanical like tubes and hoses, and like her brain is exposed, and she looks disgusting.
That's cool,
dude. It's so fucking badass, man. So yeah, I just thought of gorgeous people being awesome. That's
yeah,
where
that's
my
cool.
mind went. Who's a classic hunk for you, Steve?
I mean, Chris Hemsworth comes to mind.
That's who I wrote down just a second ago.
Yeah. Again, I think it's because I think he's really funny.
He is. See,
I know he's attractive.
Yeah.
I know he's attractive. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say no, not Chris Hemsworth.
Not that guy.
Yeah, but like, he seems like a really fun guy to hang around.
Yeah,
like
he seems that way.
He and his brothers seem like genuine people,
and
which is fun.
He's got that cool voice.
He does. He speaks all, from the southern hemisphere.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I'm
right.
talking about.
Down under.
Aussie.
Ooh. Vegemite. In the style.
Drop bear.
Drop bear. Yeah, Hemsworth is a guy that, again, classic combination.
Yeah, he's a good looking dude.
Chiseled features. Humorous.
Yeah.
Seems like a winner to me. Seems like that's somebody I would call a hunk.
He seems like, because like, a lot of the people who, like Chris Evans wanted to stop being Captain America because it's like real hard to maintain that physique.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Whereas for Chris Hemsworth, it seems like, hard. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I wake up like this.
I wake up like this.
He makes it look easy.
He does.
It's just like
he and what's his name, the Khal Drogo guy. They both just make being a behemoth look like what they do. I just woke up a behemoth, but I have a child's brain.
Mitch sent me a meme earlier that said, Rob Zombie looks like if you put Jason Momoa in a microwave on high for 5 minutes. And it has like a comparison of Rob Zombie and Jason Momoa, and it's like,
they do look similar.
Kind of nuked him on high for a while, and you got Rob Zombie, I guess. Pretty funny stuff. Yeah, good choice, man. How about I take us way back?
Let's
way back.
Who this is?
And this might seem weird, but I'm gonna go back to like whenever we were talking about the Halloween sequels, and you said you had a crush on Danielle Harris, but you were 8 at the time and she was 9.
Yeah.
So this is one of those kinds of deals. I want to take it way back to the first time I think anybody in our generation, maybe that record skipped a beat and we went, hang on now. Am I attracted to Atreyu from The Neverending Story? Because I think we all did that, right? Because we were all like, maybe Atreyu's a girl. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, there's that ambiguity there. I don't remember particularly being attracted to Atreyu, but I do remember being attracted to Jennifer Connelly in Labyrinth.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
But yes,
so
I do remember.
I
do remember watching and thinking, "Is Atreyu a girl?"
I know, right? Because you're like, that's maybe a very pretty boy or a very rugged female.
Yeah,
just being unsure.
I guess I watched Neverending Story a few times as a kid, but I guess it wasn't one that I watched enough that I would have been thinking specifically about Atreyu. But yeah, now that I think about it, yeah.
Yeah, I know for a fact that, like, for a lot of people in our age group, a lot of people have that same story where they're like, when I found out Atreyu was a boy,
like, what?
It made me have a confuse. So yeah, that's one of my early ones.
Okay, so this one, I think I can tell that he's attractive, but to me, he just looks kind of like an oldish man. But with his personality, I get it. Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah. Mark Ruffalo's a hunk.
Is he?
He's a hunk.
That's one of those ones that I would see and go, probably not a hunk.
No, he's totally a hunk.
Really?
Yeah. People way into him.
Interesting.
Dan Harmon calls him kissy face Mark Ruffalo because his natural face kind of looked like he's about to kiss you.
He kind of does. Yeah. He kind of does have that face. He's just always locked and loaded back there.
But he's also got like great personality, funny guy, seems to really be genuine sort of person.
Interviews and stuff I've seen with him, he seems just like a real fucking chill dude.
Yeah.
Until you make him angry. Don't make him angry.
Well, yeah,
Steve.
then he gets big and green.
Yeah.
That's a Mark Ruffalo condition, right?
I'm pretty sure it is.
They just made the Incredible Hulk
they cast
because
him.
of
yeah, that's why he got casted for it. They're like, we don't even have to paint him green. We just have to make him mad. Amazing.
And then they found out it was hard to make him mad, and they were like, "Fuck, get the green paint."
Well, then Trump got elected, and
then it was easy. Yeah,
yeah. Just turn on the news for a second, and suddenly he's big and green.
Boom.
Big green machine.
So yeah, that Mark Ruffalo, he's a good-looking dude. He's an older guy. Like to me, I think when you look back at him as a younger guy, he looks basically the same as he does now. Yeah. He's always had like an older man face. So I bet when he was in like high school and stuff, he probably wasn't considered handsome. But now he's like, yeah, old dude handsome.
Yeah. That's a good choice right there.
Who you got, man?
How about I take it back to those glory days of watching the rock and roll stars on the MTV.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about one very 70s fashion decked out, flying V wielding dreadlocked Lenny Kravitz from the Are You Gonna Go My Way video. Yeah. Total hunk, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm right about that.
Lenny Kravitz is a good looking dude.
Yeah. And he's just like quit aging, I guess.
Yeah, I think he decided to stop that at like 20.
I'm pretty sure. Because I saw him even in those Hunger Games movies, and I'm like, he looks the fucking same.
He looks the same.
I'm pretty sure I'm right about that one. I think that a lot of people that are into dudes are into a Kravitz.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't be.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. This is one of my wife's faves, and I totally get it. Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Now, see, again, that's a guy that I look at and I'm like, he looks like a troglodyte.
Yeah.
But women love him.
He's got something about him. Like, you just see him in interviews and he's just so, like, level-headed and cool and just, like, I don't know. He's got a lot, and he seems very sensitive.
Uh-huh.
He would be a good lover, I bet, Ben.
A considerate and mature
Tom
lover.
Hardy, holla at me, buddy.
He's one of those guys that I look at and I'm like, I think that he is objectively as handsome as like Jeremy Renner, which is to say he just looks like...
They do look similar. Yeah.
He just he looks like
dude,
a guy
just
who
some dude.
Yeah, fix your fucking outlets in your house or something. Like, I just think they look like normal ass guys.
Yeah.
But there's something about them.
Handsome fellas.
I don't get it.
I think maybe more people are into Tom Hardy than Jeremy Renner, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Jeremy Renner seems like a tool.
Yeah. A little bit.
He seems like a loser.
A little bit, maybe.
Come at me, Hawkeye.
He's got... Oh, by the way, if we're mentioning Jeremy Renner, just look up Jeremy Renner fingernails. And then after that, look up, what's his name? Mickey Rourke fingernails.
I am getting creeped out by what I'm going to see.
Yeah, you should.
What am I going to see?
You're going to see some weird-looking fingernails that they both have.
Do they have the weird shit where it curves over the end of the finger?
They're like bubbly.
Oh, no. Oh, what are you talking about?
It's like
bubbly?
a big bubble, and it does sort of like, like curved over.
Oh, you're talking about like where like the nail itself is like a big fucking bubble. I thought you meant like it was covered in bubbles.
They're huge. They're like ovular, like both of them. I read up on it, and apparently it's a trait of alcoholism.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, neither of us is dealing with that.
I'm looking at mine now. I'm like, oh no.
But look it up. It's so weird, isn't it? And while you're at it, look up Madonna's arms if you just want to puke tonight.
Madonna's arms. I have like referenced Madonna's arms so many times in my life, you don't even know.
She's got like witch, like tree limb arms.
Yeah, like she's a dryad.
Yeah.
Have you seen this thing that a lot of people are doing with like guys and girls? They get their nails all done up and they have like things physically like glued to their nails, or they have like a little chain that goes from one nail to the other and shit. That fucking grosses me out.
Me too.
I think about if I put my hands in my pockets and you're feeling that shit hit your pockets.
Yeah.
Dude.
Long fingernails in general gross me out because the shit that you get under your fingernails
disgusting.
is shit.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
I know.
There's feces under your fingernails.
The first time I thought about like a chick with big done up nails fucking wiping her ass, like, it's got to be awful. It's got to be awful. There have to be remnants.
Yeah.
There has to be remnants under them things. I know. It's the word. I hate long fingernails.
Oh, now every time I see somebody with long fingernails touching my food, I'm going to be like, no, you take it back. I don't want to.
I'm not hungry.
When was the last time you wiped your ass?
Have you ever wiped your ass? Ever. Even if you say no, that's worse.
That is even worse.
Oh, man. All right, how about we toss this into a different realm here?
Toss it.
I want to toss it into the realm of video games.
Video games?
What do you know about Vega from Street Fighter? Vega's a hunk, right?
Oh!
He's got that Spanish, that Latin flair. He's got a little Banderas thing going on.
Yeah.
He fights with that mask because he's so pretty.
He's too pretty. He doesn't want to hurt his face.
Yeah. He'll scratch you with that claw.
But I would say pretty boy, not hunk.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. You might have just found a difference here.
Yeah.
He might be more of a pretty boy.
He's more of
a
pretty boy than a hunk. But I mean, he fights in street fighting tournaments, which that's hunkish.
All right, then. Biggest hunk in Street Fighter.
Oh, damn.
Are you going to say Guile? Are you a real American?
I was going to say Guile, but then I was like,
Ken.
Can you imagine that hair in real life? He'd look ridiculous.
Yeah. I think Ken is clearly the choice.
I'm into brunettes, so are you.
Ooh, look at that. We got the polar opposite thing going on right here. Very sexy. I like Ken because he's got that swagger. You know what I mean? He's like a little bit more cocky. He's a little bit more sure-footed.
This is the exact thing.
This is
Sprite,
the dumbest conversation we've ever had on the show. I just want to interject to say, yes, we realize.
Yeah, we realize. Whatever.
You got another one over there?
Yeah. Let me finish off with I was gonna go with James McAvoy.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm gonna go a little bit further back.
McAvoy
to Ewan McGregor, who we just saw in that Dr. Sleep movie. He's still a handsome fucking dude.
I think a McAvoy's
a good-looking guy.
Is good. I think a Fassbender is a handsome fella. I think Fassbender is one of the more attractive Hollywood hunks of this day.
Yeah. Plus, huge dick.
Yeah? He's packing a hog?
Packing a biggin.
Oh, no. What are you going to do with all that stuff?
Mostly it's just maintenance, I imagine.
I think so.
What you going to do with it?
Yeah, exactly.
Predominantly peeing and washing it.
Taping it to your leg and stuff when you wear shorts,
Probably having to tape it. Yeah, like I can't imagine having to tape my dick to my leg.
Nah.
Man.
I couldn't imagine having to tape
Michael Fassbender.
My dick to your leg.
I can, though. I can see that. I can see that.
It's gonna work.
Yeah.
It's gonna work.
That's like a 3-legged race. But, man, that's a... That's a much more of a challenge than a 3-legged race. You tape one dude's dick to the other dude's leg.
Don't run too fast. Don't run too fast. Don't run too fast. That's the new 3-legged race.
I like it.
I think it could also be one of those things that like becomes really prominent in circles where dudes are just trying to be like, I'm not gay, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not gay.
No, tape your dick to my leg.
Yeah.
That'll show.
It's not even a big deal to me because I'm not gay.
Oh, okay.
3-legged race, bro.
All right, I got the tape. Let's do it, bro.
It's fine.
Let's do it.
You touch my dick and it's fine because
let's just tape our dicks together
and rub them back and forth because we're so not gay. Right? Yeah. Is this doing anything for you? Yeah, it's not doing anything for me either. Are you getting a boner? It's because I'm thinking about girls.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, we're both thinking about girls with their dicks taped together.
Taped together.
Taped together.
Oh no!
But I'm thinking Scotch tape. Not even like something that's definitely going to hold it together.
I think because I'm in moving mode, I was thinking like clear packing tape.
Oh yeah, clear packing tape. Yeah,
like, that's a pretty sure bond right there. I would probably gaff tape that thing down if I want it to not run off for sure. I'd use a gaff tape. Think so.
You got to get real.
I've got a couple more. I just want to rattle off right here. I'm gonna go with a George Clooney.
Oh, George Clooney's.
He's clearly a hunk, right?
Yeah, he's
George Clooney, obviously a hunk.
Mm-hmm. And a smart hunk at that.
Yeah, and funny. He can do comedic stuff.
A Southern boy handsome. As well.
Is he?
Yeah, he's from Kentucky.
He's from Kentucky.
Kentucky.
I think I did not know that. Mm-hmm. Huh. He's somebody that I think is very objectively.
Yeah, I think he's a handsome dude. Yeah,
I think that guy's on it. Brad Pitt, we didn't include.
Well, yeah,
he's in the movie.
He's in the movie, and he's the one who sparked us doing this. Basically,
he's such a hunk.
And he's still a good-looking guy. Smokes a lot of weed, apparently.
Yeah,
but makes me want to hang out with him even more. Yeah.
What do you think about Sebastian Bach back in the day from Skid Row? Again, he's on that line of pretty boy and hunk.
What do you think about Sebastian
woman.
Bach in Gilmore Girls?
I think back in the day he looked just like a gorgeous woman.
He did look like a pretty lady back in the day. Boy, but that was like all of the 80s.
Days, man. He's looking rough these days. Mm-hmm. Woo! But man, back in the day, he was like fucking 6'5", wore heels too, so he was like 7 feet tall.
Gigantic man.
Whipping that hair back and forth. The best of both worlds. Man and woman.
Man and woman.
Yeah. And Skid Row, pretty badass band.
That's true. Can you take me home?
No, it's Damn Yankees. It's Damn Yankees.
That's Damn Yankees.
Yeah. What about 18 and life just started?
There we go.
18 and life to go. That's a really shitty song.
It is.
So corny. Well, dude, I think that we've proven that even though, bro, we're not gay or nothing.
True.
But we know hunks.
Yeah.
We know hunks.
Yeah, because I got a bunch more.
I got a bunch more. Yeah. I could keep going. This could go on and on.
On and on and on and on.
But there's more.
I didn't even think about video game hunks.
Dude, yeah. Dude. Yeah. Did you think about Ryder Strong? Because I did.
Oh, of course I did.
Yeah.
You know, so we did the Buffy episode, and I was talking about how Luke Perry had that like Caesar cut.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really in fashion at the time. To check that, I went back to some old yearbook, and the Ryder Strong haircut reached its peak of popularity in 1996 in East Tennessee.
The smoking bowl.
Like every other dude in my 1996 yearbook.
Oh yeah, rocking the butt
that
cut.
haircut. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I would have been in your yearbook, you would have seen me rocking it right there with him. I did a little shave, a little undercut.
Yeah, me too.
Did you do a center part or an offset?
I did a center part, but I shouldn't have because my hair on the left side flips out.
Yeah.
So I would have like straight hair here and then it flip out over here.
Something for everybody.
Yeah. Something for people who like hair that looks bad and people who like hair that looks good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely rocked that myself circa 1996 as well. A side part for me. It was part of about like where yours is now, where it's kind of like on one side.
Yeah. It looked bad.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
No, Ryder pulled it
Not on everybody.
off.
Ryder Strong pulled it the fuck off.
Yeah, there were a lot of boys that I knew that had like hair that was like 5 times too thick to do it.
Yeah. So it's just like this big poof wig on their head.
Yeah,
that's what I was noticing.
Yeah. Like I always had straight, silky kind of hair. Mm-hmm. So I think it worked pretty good. Probably about as good as a bowl cut can work on a homeschooled Christian boy. Probably about as best as it could.
Bowl cutted homeschooled Christian boy.
That's my fucking country album.
He's
just a bowl cutted schoolboy, homeschool Christian boy.
That's that would be if I saw that on Craigslist in the missed connections.
You would report it immediately.
Bowl cutted homeschooled Christian boy. Me, guy you saw at the pharmacy.
Dude, did I show you on Craigslist the fucking Skank Banger missed person ad?
No.
Dude, it was okay.
So this was at a Skank Banger concert, yes. I assume. Okay, yeah.
There was that Skank Banger show that we played like the day before we went to the beach this summer. And when I was at the beach, one of the guys from the band sends me like this screenshot of an actual Craigslist ad that he found. That was like, looking for girl from Skank Banger show. And somebody seriously put up an ad that was like, seen you at the Skank Banger show the other day.
At the Skank Banger
You was a girl wearing cute little white shorts.
Oh.
I would like to get together with you.
Oh, sweetheart.
I like to think that we're making divorces out there someday.
I hope
Future divorces.
Yeah, I hope so.
Helping people make bad decisions.
It seems like those scruffy shows probably bring together two sets of people that shouldn't be together, which is
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right. But which is college girls enjoying hair metal in an ironic but not ironic fashion.
Sure.
And then 45-year-old guys
really enjoying hair
reliving their hair metal days, thinking, I have a shot with her.
Yes.
You don't.
No.
You don't.
That's not happening.
Sweetie.
No. Not unless you look like Idris Elba.
Yeah, I mean, well, yes.
He comes to our show sometimes.
He probably, if he came into one of your shows, would get the most attention.
Oh, clearly.
As he is extremely tall.
Yeah. He'd soak up all that attention.
Very good looking, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you guys would probably just stop playing and be like, hello, it's Idris Elba, come up on stage. And then he would kick you guys off and do a DJ set or something.
That'd be cool. Yeah. I'd be okay with it. I'd be like,
Stank Banger show.
We're going to go at the bar
closed due to Idris Elba.
These things happen. These things happen all the time. Now, Steve, let's get on here and let's quit talking about fucking hunks. Just get hunks off your mind.
I'll get hunks off. Okay.
Get hunks off.
Let's quit talking about fucking hunks. Let's get off hunks.
Yeah, let's get them off.
Get them off.
Get them on out of here. Get your dicks and your balls out of here, hunks. We're straight men.
That's us.
And let's start talking about Interview with the Vampire from 1994 when I was only 10 years old and screenshotting Vega dick pics of him doing high kicks. Discovering myself. Exploring my sexuality.
Yeah. I remember when this movie came out. I didn't see it in the theaters. I was too young to go see it in the theaters.
I didn't see it until I was probably a late teen or in my 20s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember watching it when I was maybe 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember there being this buzz among like our moms that this was like a hot movie.
Hunk galore, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Which is one of those things that to me I'm like,
I don't think this movie's hot at all.
Well, and the thing that I don't get about it is like, why would my very conservative, like super Christian baby boomer mom be like, those two boys sure are getting their faces close to each other? Why would that be hot to our moms? I don't get it. Like, it seems like that should be like mega turnoff. I don't know.
Right. Huh.
Oh, man. You know what I just thought of? How could we not have mentioned the sexiest boy, Shawn Michaels?
He's just a sexy boy.
Sexy boy.
I'm not your boy toy.
I mean, clearly the hunkiest.
Yeah.
But why did our like boomer moms think this was hot? I don't understand.
I don't know, because like I know my mom didn't pay any attention to it, but my aunt, I remember I saw it because my aunt rented it. But of course she rented every horror movie back in the day, so I don't know that she had any particular interest in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was it's a very
forbidden fruit for
homoerotic movie for
Christian moms.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Huh.
Yeah. Weird.
Maybe that's why they like Twilight so much, because it gets rid of that. Because, I mean, it's very similar. Just eliminate the homoeroticism and make it guys
straight
competing.
Mormon.
I mean, the truth is anytime two men are competing over a woman, there's some bond between them that may be more important than their desire for the woman.
Oh, look
So we'll talk about that when we get to Twilight. But in this, and in this case, the homoeroticism is, I think, I think the person we're looking at is Lestat, who basically is setting the rules that he thinks vampires should live by.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't establish that there's a whole world of vampires. He's just like, okay, I've made you a vampire and this is what we do. But there's like all these other vampires out there that have their own
little world. Yeah.
But Lestat has this like amoral approach to life, and that's why, what's his name? Brad Pitt. Louis. That's why Louis has so much trouble, like, I guess, converting to vampirism, to fully getting into it, because he's not being taught the way these other vampires do it, where there's like some sort of honor to it and things like that. He's being taught Lestat's way, which is just kill for fun.
Yeah, he definitely does live by a different code than what we see from like the Banderas crowd, where they have these more stringent laws about like you killed one of your own kind, that's a crime and is unforgivable and this kind of thing. Lestat's morality just seems to be like, I don't know, get away with it.
Yeah, he just doesn't care. He basically is. He's got the Joker sort of mentality. Let the world burn. I don't give a shit.
Well, and the thing that I do like about the movie especially is how, because you have Lestat, who brings Louis into this world, and, you know, he creates this whole world for Louis and shows him the ropes and makes him immortal and all this kind of thing. But at the same time, there is this, like, resentment. There is this resentment towards their creator. You know, him and Kirsten Dunst later in the movie both grow to resent Lestat and grow to dislike their creator.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of bit of the mythos. That's one of those things that's always really cool whenever they explore it in movies. Like even fucking, what was that newest Alien movie that was such a piece of shit?
Oh,
it was Covenant.
Covenant, right.
There was some cool stuff with David and like, you know, the people that created blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I like that kind of exploration.
Yeah.
And there's a good bit of that in this movie.
There is. Okay, so let's start talking a little bit about the production, because I wanted to say some stuff there, and I realized we need a little bit of background about Anne Rice and this whole thing. So Anne Rice, in 1972, Anne Rice's 6-year-old daughter died from leukemia.
Ooh, damn. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, and
Yikes.
so Rice fell into a deep depression and turned to alcohol to cope. So she's dealing with depression and alcoholism. In 1973, she began reworking a short story that she had written 5 years earlier, and the short story was basically a vampire being interviewed, but it wasn't very long. She turned it into a 338-page novel, and after completing the novel and receiving rejection after rejection after rejection, she developed OCD. So she's dealing with depression and alcoholism and now OCD. And then she attended a writers' conference in August of 1974, and while she was there, she met her future literary agent, Phyllis Seidel, and by October, Seidel had sold the novel, Interview with the Vampire, for a $12,000 advance, which was $10,000 more than they normally gave for an advance.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
She
guy's
sold
a fucking genius.
She sold the movie rights a month before the novel had even been released. So the movie rights were bought in 1976, April of 1976.
So I thought that the book was written like in the 90s and that this was like a hot property, and then the movie came out like, I mean, just like what we see now with Twilight and shit like that.
Yeah.
This was like fucking 20 years later.
It had been around for almost 20 years.
I had no clue.
What happened was that Paramount bought it and intended to turn it into something, but then they had some issues and they ended up selling it to Lorimar, who then had issues. They ended up selling it to Warner Brothers, who weren't sure what they were going to do with it, and then Geffen Productions came along, and David Geffen was a huge Anne Rice fan and wanted to make sure the movie got made. So Geffen Productions came along and worked with Warner Brothers to make sure it got made, and gave it a budget of $60 million. That's how much he wanted it to be fucking made.
That is a lot.
$60 million
in fucking 90s bucks.
Now, it wasn't too big of a gamble because Anne Rice was still popular. She was still releasing Vampire Chronicles.
I was going to say, by this time, this is an established like series of books, right?
Yeah. So there's already an established audience. It's been around, was a bestseller, been around for over, 15, 18 years. And basically, the only real issue they ran into after David Geffen decided that he was going to make sure it happened was Anne Rice's dislike of the casting of Tom Cruise.
So she was not on board with that.
No, she did not think Tom Cruise could be Lestat. And
why?
Well, at this point, what did
she
Tom
like?
Cruise
He's too gay.
maybe that was it. But I'm just trying to think. I don't know what major dramatic role he had done where he had carried the whole movie.
We've had like Top Gun and
Top Gun,
and whatever.
Yeah, all of those are just like he's the coolest. That's the character.
Cool guy
in this, he's not. He's the villain. Like he's the bad guy, really.
But he's still supposed to be like kind of charismatic and charming.
So maybe she just
devil may care.
I mean, she thought that they should switch Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. So she obviously believed in Brad Pitt. It was just Tom Cruise that she had trouble with. But by the time she saw the movie, once it come out, she retracted that. Said, "I think Tom Cruise did a great job."
I think he does a good job.
I think so too.
I think that he kind of does a good job of being kind of morally ambiguous, sometimes reprehensible, but at the same time charming and devil may care. And
that laugh is great. He does a great job of picking an annoying, almost childish, impish sort of laugh.
Totally. Yeah. Mischievous laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he looks weird as shit blonde.
Yes, he does.
I think he looks really weird.
Yeah.
It'd be like if I was blonde. It's like
yeah,
it just
that would be
weird.
odd.
Yeah, it looks
That'd
strange.
be straight.
That being said, frost my tips next week, dude.
Hell yeah.
I'm becoming a big city boy now. Steve, I want to pop open another beer before we get going on the rest of this cast. How about we have ourselves another suggestion by Bearded Iris?
Oh, love me a Bearded Iris.
This is a double IPA of theirs. And I had one of these the other night after I had already had many other things to drink. Many mystery fluids.
Yeah.
This is a 7.8er. And
7.8. All right.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
The double IPA.
Big old boy.
You got to expect that.
I have a feeling you're going to love this long time. It reminds me of if Homestyle, their beloved Homestyle IPA.
Yeah, you're pouring it. It already looks like the Homestyle.
Yep.
Yeah.
It reminds me of if that was drier.
Okay.
Obviously stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe... I'm not going to say less funky. I'm just going to say a different kind of funky.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like James Brown versus P-Funk.
Yeah.
It's it's a different kind of funk.
It's still funk, though.
Oh, definitively. Still funky. I think I actually may
great.
like this more than the Homestyle. Homestyle has that like really dank funkiness on the back end that kind of dominates your palate. This is a little bit less of that. This reminds me more of some of the beers that like my buddy Eric has sent me from like San Francisco and stuff. More like a West Coast beer.
It smells very grapefruity.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it looks like dirty sink water. It looks like maybe some cloudy chicken broth or something. But how good is that?
Whoa.
Woo, man, that is good.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of flavor.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
but not like too much of anything.
No, not too much of anything.
I think it says what hops are on it on the bottom right there. What all is in there?
We got Nelson, Citra, and Matuica.
Are Citra the ones you think you're allergic to?
No.
Which one's that?
I don't remember.
Oh, no.
Simcoe. I think I'm allergic to those, yeah.
Okay, so not any of these.
Not any of those.
That's really good, right?
That is really good. It's got...
And you would never suspect that's 8%, basically.
No, you would not.
Crazy
It's
good.
very juicy.
Yeah.
It's got like citrusy. It's also got that like fruit punch sort of flavor, which was why I was expecting it to have whatever those hops are.
Yeah.
What the fuck are the hops that taste like fruit punch? Shit. I forgot.
Remember,
Whatever.
So good, though. Big fan.
Really good. Yeah.
Big fan. Now, opposite of Tom Cruise's Lestat, we've got Brad Pitt's Louis. And at this point, Brad Pitt, I mean, he'd done, Legends of the Fall and shit by now, I think.
Yeah. He had done Thelma and Louise.
Which I've never seen.
True Romance.
Yeah. Oh, he has a huge role in True Romance as the stone guy on the couch.
Yeah.
Autobiographical role.
Yeah, I mean, he hadn't done a ton by this point in 1994, but he was already like Hollywood heartthrob sort of guy.
I'll say, man, I know that we'll probably eventually talk about Brad Pitt again on the podcast one day whenever we do like Seven or, I don't know, do you think like 12 Monkeys gets into that category?
I don't know.
Not really. It's a little more sci-fi.
Sci-fi, yeah.
I think Brad Pitt is a extremely underrated actor.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that has never won an Oscar or anything like that in his life.
Yeah.
But he has played so many iconic, memorable roles that everybody knows and everybody has seen and everybody loves. It's fucking Tyler Durden, you know?
He is.
The fucking gypsy guy from...
from Snatch.
Snatch, yeah. It's like all these roles that are so great and memorable.
Aldo Rain.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Lieutenant Aldo Rain. So good. But he just doesn't get credit, I think, because he's such a hunk.
Yeah. I think, like, it would be easy to not notice what he's doing with the roles because he sort of buries himself in them, but he's still handsome Brad Pitt. Like, even Aldo Rain, like, doing the underbite thing. And kind of a sling blade face. He's still a good-looking dude.
Have a sling blade face. You're right.
Yeah. Whereas Billy Bob Thornton can do sling blade face, and you're like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah.
Brad Pitt does it, and you're like, oh, you.
That's a guy, fucking Billy Bob Thornton. That's one of those guys that I'm like, I'm pretty sure not a hunk at all. I'm pretty sure every woman should
Angelina
be revolted
Jolie
by
was
him.
into him.
Makes no sense. She's fucking crazy, dude.
That's true.
She's a crazy person.
She was also into Brad Pitt for a while.
Yeah. So that makes no sense to me.
No.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I think with Billy Bob Thornton, a lot of it is he's talented. Though, from what I hear, he can be a real asshole to people. Yeah. But I think that's probably true of all of us.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Brad Pitt, man, I think he's a very underrated actor. And, honestly, he didn't really have a lot to do in this movie.
He hated being in this movie.
Why?
Because he had nothing to do.
Well, that would make sense.
His character did nothing, and they had to shoot in the dark for, like, a couple months on end. So he didn't really see the light for a couple months, and he just got depressed.
Yeah, I was going to say, that'll make you get shitty right there.
Just unhappy with the role and all that stuff.
Damn, dude. Yeah, I was reading some shit, too, about, like, in order to make their veins on their face, like, stand out more, like, they'd have to hang upside down for, like, 30 minutes before shooting and shit.
When I first read that, I was a little like, what the fuck? But actually what happened was Stan Winston had them come to the makeup trailer, hung them upside down for 30 minutes, and then traced their veins so that they could then do the veins on their face, and it would look natural.
Okay, I got it.
So they didn't have to do that every day. They just did that once.
Oh, I got it.
So every time you see the veins after that, it's just they've done like a makeup stencil sort of thing and put it on their face.
That would be really stupid if they had to do that every fucking time.
Yeah, every time before the shot.
It'd be amazing, though, if they really did that and all the vampires were like dizzy as fuck, like stumbling around, falling into each other. Yeah. Eyes are all blood red all the time. Damn. But yeah, honestly, the character of Louis in this, it's like his entire thing is he's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of wants to die most of the time.
He's emo. He's very emo.
Yeah, Louis the emo vampire.
Not how the character was in the book.
Have you ever read the book?
I started reading the book in 8th grade. Didn't get
still working on it.
I'm still working on it. I'm about halfway through it, so I might go back to it.
I haven't read the book either. I started reading that Anne Rice book. It's first of some like witch series or something.
Oh, okay. She's in a more recent new series.
I don't know if it's recent or not, but again, still working on it.
Okay.
Never finished that one up for whatever reason. So I haven't read the book, so I can't comment on that. But you're saying in the book he was apparently a bit different, a little less emo.
Yeah. In fact, he makes a very specific comment about not being mopey or whatever.
I'm happy.
Yeah. So but I mean, Anne Rice wrote the screenplay. And got the screenplay credit. Neil Jordan, the director, did do a rewrite of it, but it wasn't like a major overhaul.
Yeah.
So, I guess she wasn't able to convey the character she wanted in a film format well.
Okay.
So, you get this character who's not very happy. Speaking of Neil Jordan, just real quick, the director of this, Neil Jordan, who directed The Crying Game.
Okay, yeah. I've not seen that, but I know of it. Not a rip-roaring good time. Not the feel-good hit of the summer.
No, I'd say it's probably not. But this, I have to say, is Neil Jordan's second best vampire movie.
No shit, what else did he do?
His best vampire movie is Byzantium, which came out in like 2012 or so.
I haven't seen that.
Jim Arterton and Saoirse Ronan.
Okay. Saoirse Ronan.
I think it has like, because this movie grosses me out like in the way they feed and stuff. It's so real.
Yeah, it is.
It grosses me out. So it's very effective. Byzantium takes that realness like to the next level and really gets dirty on what it would be like to actually be a vampire.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good movie. But yeah, Neil Jordan, good director, obviously. This movie looks great.
Yeah,
Crying Game won awards. He's also directed a movie called The Company of Wolves we might cover sometime.
Oh, yeah. I know of that one. Mm-hmm. Very strange, surreal werewolf kind of movie.
Yeah, so
he knows what's up.
He does. I don't think that Louis as a weaker character is Neil Jordan's fault. I think it must have been in the screenplay that Anne Rice gave him. I can't imagine Neil Jordan got the screenplay and was like, this guy seems too self-assured. Let's make him real whiny.
Weaken him down quite a lot.
But if he did, you screwed up. Because like it would have been more interesting for them to be butting heads instead. Like for Louis to be like saying, no, that's wrong, instead of being like, I'm depressed about having to kill people.
He's kind of like perpetually 15.
Yeah.
Like I know that he got changed into a vampire when he was like 25 or something. Mm-hmm. But he does kind of act like a hot topic mall goth for most of the movie.
And I would rather him be more like direct. Like, no, I don't want to do that or whatever. He doesn't have to be whiny. Just be, clear. So yeah, that loses some. But we have Kirsten Dunst here doing an amazing job at 9, 10, however old she was.
She does a fantastic job.
Yes. She really does act like she's older than her years. Like she plays it very well.
Between Tom Cruise just being kind of wackadoo at times, Brad Pitt. Okay, here's the thing. As great as Brad Pitt is, it is known he struggles with accents.
Yeah.
Struggles a lot.
He does.
I mean, the whole motivation between why his character in Snatch just spoke gibberish is because he could not do a proper accent. He just can't do them, Brad's accent in this is kind of all over the place, too.
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst, I think probably of the three of them, is actually the best acting job in the flick.
I would agree.
She's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm. And the strongest character.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely so. She is amazing in this.
Yeah, she's the only one who goes through a cycle of, growth.
That's true.
The other two don't change.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Lestat and Louis both are the same the whole time.
Yeah, she becomes something different and then becomes more like Lestat and then takes out Lestat. That's badass.
You know what I just thought about?
What'd you thought?
This kind of goes back to that thing that we were talking about on the last episode where we were talking about, when a vampire gets injured, how injured can it get that it'll regrow back or whatever. Mm-hmm. In this movie...
They could get injured...
Massively,
Massively.
But
up
it's
to
also...
the point of basically being cinders, but not being ash. If you're ash... Fuck you.
Yeah.
But if you're cinders, you'll be fine.
But just to put it this way, it's shown to the point of where, when Kirsten Dunst, tries to cut off her own hair, her hair grows back to the way that it was when she was changed over.
Right.
Right? So I'm just thinking about this in a number of different contexts. Imagine you're, in the middle of, shaving your balls.
Okay.
And a vampire sneaks up and bites you.
Oh, no.
And
so you're just halfway?
Yeah. For all eternity.
Right field is clear, but left field's still shaggy.
That's what I'm saying. Or what if you were trying to grow your hair out and your hair was at that middle point?
In-between length, the worst.
Where it's either flippy, but you also can't really wear a hat with it. You can't pull it back yet. And then you get bit. Dude, I would be like, vampire... I'm fucking begging you.
Look, here's my address. You come, just wait till my hair's at a good length.
I gotta get this hair thing right because I know I'm gonna be stuck like this for fucking ever. So please, for the love of God, let me let this shit grow out before you bite me.
I wonder if you get it just styled. Does it automatically go back to its former style? Or
I think you can style it because Brad Pitt had it in a ponytail.
Right,
that's
true.
technically styling.
Mm-hmm.
And
profiling.
Oh yeah. So I'm rocking it right now as we speak, so I should know.
For real.
I mean, imagine though, what if you had a really dated haircut?
Yeah, a Ryder Strong bowl cut.
Yeah, or you had the fucking Elvis do.
Oh man.
And then you get fucking vampired. And people will know for all time, the rest of that, it's like, oh, that guy's definitely a vampire. He got fucking bit when that haircut was still cool. And then they see his nuts and they're like, oh, he was busy.
What if you decided...
He was manscaping.
What if this was the year you decided to go all out for a costume and you even did a full haircut and everything to look exactly like the thing?
Pompadour.
And then vampire bite. You're fucking Hulk Hogan the rest of your life.
Fucking handlebar mustache and all this shit.
Just bald paint. Yeah.
Do you think that maybe that's what happened to I'm thinking about the B-52s with those beehive hairdos and stuff that they had. Maybe they got bit in the fucking 1960s, late 50s, early 60s when that was a cool look.
Bit by a vampire, baby.
It's as big as a whale. There's just so many scenarios I'm thinking about. What if you got turned into a vampire when you had a fucking hangnail? Fuck, you have that forever?
Oh,
I mean, that would just be the worst. That thing getting snagged on your pockets for all eternity.
No fun. No.
No.
Of course, if you're a vampire, what are you putting in your pocket?
I mean, I guess that little pokey ring thing they used to.
Oh yeah. You gotta put
it.
But I'd have just a pokey ring thing pocket probably that I right here.
Maybe that's what that little tiny pocket in the front of your jeans is for.
Pokey ring thing.
Maybe Levi was a vampire.
Levi Strauss, you vampire and son of a bitch.
That's what I'm saying, man. It might be like that. Yeah, I'm just thinking there's just a lot of scenarios where getting bit at the wrong time of your physical appearance, considering your hairdo is fixed forever.
Yeah.
This could be non-advantageous.
But let me just put this out there.
Okay.
If you're on your period, I bet that shit clears up immediately. So it's like, cool.
At least there's that.
Yeah. So.
Or what if you're just on your period for all eternity?
Oh, no.
Seems like that would be not fun. You'd probably be very, very popular with lesbian vampires, though. Am I right? Am I right? All right, you know.
I hear you
know,
on your period.
Yeah, you know.
I want to suck your blood.
This is a weird episode, Steve.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
It's a weird episode. I'm sure I'll think of other not advantageous vampire turning scenarios as we go through here. But yeah, anyway, Kirsten Dunst in this really does a great job of, okay, not only being like this feral child that gets turned over into being an immortal blood-sucking vampire, and what a terror any of us would be if we were 9 years old and presented with that kind of power. Yeah. But then also, as she ages 30, 40, 50 years, she starts to act more and more like an adult and talk like an adult, even though she remains looking, you know, like the same, whatever, 9-year-old or whatever she got bit as. I think she does a really good job of maturing that character up while still looking like a kid. And also, I mean, when you're 9 years old, you don't know how you would talk as a 40-year-old or whatever. But she does a really good job of getting better at speaking and better with interacting with other adults because she feels like she is one, you know?
I think that Interview with the Vampire is the source of that bitten as a child, but older.
But you stay that way?
Yeah. I think it's the source because I mean, you know, we got Homer in Near Dark and Babette in Elder Scrolls V. Like, they're still not pervasive, but it is a very interesting thing to deal with of the adult stuck in a child's body.
Oh yeah, and how just tragic and unfortunate.
Yeah, because you'll never be treated like the adult you are.
Yeah.
Because of the way you look.
And we get that too, where I think it's either Louis or Lestat is like buying her like dolls and stuff, and she's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she's got like the rotting corpse of a fucking woman underneath there.
Because she wanted to be her.
I mean, that's like major psychotic sociopath, like Jeffrey Dahmer shit.
Well, and Antonio Banderas says, you know, you're not supposed to change them that young. And I assume this is the reason, because they end up going crazy.
Yeah.
Because they're never treated as an adult.
That has to be so strange, though. I mean, if that was an actual scenario where you could be a child forever, because you essentially are gaining years, but you're also not producing like the puberty hormones and stuff like that make you into a legitimate adult. But you just look at the standard of, I'm 30 years old, I should be doing X and X and X that adults do.
So, yeah, she's not got the full adult brain.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's not capable of fully being, like, because, yeah, she has some bratty moments of, like, wanting to be treated like the adult she is, but in fact, she's not an adult. Like, even though she has experienced the past 40 years, she's not fully grown.
Yeah. She has experiences like somebody who's 40 years old would have, but like you said, she is ultimately still a child. It's a really tragic and fucked up part of the story.
Yeah, it is.
You know? Yeah. And it ultimately started because Louis was kind of feeling sympathetic because her mom had just died of the plague and stuff, and he was like, I can feed on this kid. It's like a mercy killing.
Yes. So let's then talk about what inspired all of this. So as I said,
all this nonsense.
Anne Rice's daughter died when she was sick.
Yeah.
This movie is very much about depression.
I hadn't thought about that.
And dealing with loss. And basically, this character of Claudia is... It's the Pet Sematary character. It's the, what if I could have her back? What if I could have her back for just however long?
And damn, that's really dark when you put it that way. Shit.
And in some ways, she is a Frankenstein character because she is the monstrous creation of this man who plays God, and then abandons, basically.
Yeah.
And she becomes the creature in her desire to kill her creator, just like the creature in Frankenstein does. So
yeah, totally.
Basically, it's Anne Rice playing out her desire to have her daughter back, but knowing that having her daughter back wouldn't be the same, and that she would never, she just can't have that back. And so dealing with the full acceptance of that, she had to play out this world of like, well, what would it be if I could bring her back?
Wow.
And
that is dark.
Very dark. But then also the way that, like, what we hear about Louis is that his wife and daughter have just died recently of illness.
Yeah, that's why he's just like, fuck it, I just want to die.
So he's like her surrogate. Like, that's the Anne Rice surrogate. Which is why it's weird that he's so neutered in this and he doesn't have much of a personality or anything.
Yeah, really.
It seems like, but I can just divorcing the book from this and saying how would this work if we're saying this is the Anne Rice stand-in, is basically that Louis is depressed. He's depressed the entire time. The entire 100 and something years that this movie spans.
Yeah.
He's depressed.
Yeah.
And he's
just
dealing with
this
depression.
Death. Yeah.
He never actually is able to pull out of it. And I think it's her way of, one, dealing with the loss of her daughter, but also like expressing how depression is this inescapable comfort. Like, just the way that whenever Lestat starts biting a woman or whatever, she doesn't even recognize it. That prostitute early on where he bites her breast and she doesn't, like, they don't even, it's just this comfort until they recognize the horror of it. And so I think what this movie is about overcoming depression and recognizing the horror of all the things that you're allowing to go on because you are just numb to the world.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more in this that could have been brought out with the movie that isn't.
Well, when you look at it that way too, it's cool to think about how, okay, he had this wife and daughter, plantation owner and stuff like that. Yeah. They died, and so initially he was seeking out death.
Yeah, he just wanted to die.
Yeah, like he was fucking people over in cards, and but wouldn't kill himself. But he like told that guy to shoot him after screwing him over in cards and all that kind of thing. So he sought out death, and then alternatively he ended up seeking out eternal life.
Yeah.
But either way, the depression still haunted him.
Yeah.
So either way.
Yeah, he couldn't escape it.
Yeah.
Through the normal means that he thought of just being dead with them. And then, it's also, there's that interesting dichotomy of he's seeking out death, and it turns out death is seeking him at the same time. And that neither side gets what they want.
Well, and ultimately, at the end of the day, him seeking out this eternal life as a vampire just invites so much more death by him being a part of being a vampire.
All he's going to see is more and more death. Yeah. Everyone in his life is always going to be dying.
Yeah, and anybody who he brings in as family, like Claudette or Lestat, is just going to contribute to that.
Mm-hmm.
There is this cool kind of life and death.
Yeah.
And like you said, depression kind of thing going through this that I think is pretty bitchin'.
It's very interesting.
The life of an eternal vampire is a cool way to kind of analyze that shit.
Yeah, and it makes me think that I would like to maybe read the book. I'm sure it's explored much deeper in the novel than it is in this.
Yeah, in the movie they kind of just have to keep things going.
Yeah, because it's a story. You gotta have events.
Yeah.
So they've got all these events, and you kind of run over the depth of the story. Antonio Banderas is in this movie.
What a hunk.
As a hunky dude.
AKA Puss in Boots. AKA Zorro. He's got some thick hair.
Shrek, it's me, Puss in Boots. You wanna fuck? What?
He's one of those guys with that thick ass hair he's got. I bet a bowl cut would not have worked on him. He would have had that too thick bowl.
That would be weird.
His hair was just stacked.
Thick fucking hair.
It was stacked.
This will not be the last time we cover Antonio Banderas for sure. He's in other horror movies, but Antonio Banderas,
he's a hunk.
He is a hunk.
Yeah. I can assertively say that's one of those guys that people must find attractive.
He kind of hit in these early 90s period with like this, and then was he in, what else was he in? Robert Rodriguez's what you call it? Desperado? Was that?
Oh yeah,
Rodriguez?
That's right.
Yeah,
he was a way hunk in that.
Yeah,
Plus, you had Selma Hayek in that being a fox.
Oh yeah,
that's a sexy movie right there. That's a sexy movie.
So this is early Antonio Banderas, and this is different than most of the roles you see him in because
he's very dark.
Mm-hmm.
Very dark in this movie.
Very dark. But
very sinister.
Sinister, not sure what he's up to, not sure, not even sure who he's serves because he could be lying to Brad Pitt.
That's the thing. It's pretty ambiguous.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're the ones that seem to have this code of ethics.
Exactly. And Claudia and Louis committed murder, and so they're going to, I guess, get the death penalty, but Louis getting the worst end of it, being walled up for eternity, Ooh. Cask of Amontillado style.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Cask of Amontillado is a Poe short story about revenge that's really great.
Yeah, man, that whole thing of him just being walled up for, I guess until he starves to death or whatever, right?
It would be, well, yeah.
They gotta eat. I mean,
they must. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that another thing that would kill them? Is actually starving to death, or?
Yeah, because otherwise
they just suffer?
Otherwise, he just wouldn't eat. I mean, that's why he's eating rats and poodles and shit like that. He has to eat.
Yeah, he has to.
So I guess he'd just be in there till he starves to death. Which
we don't
know.
The two things that seem to kill them for sure are sun and
starvation. Yeah.
So they're killing both of them.
So they're like, and I might be a vampire.
You might be. No, I don't understand why the doll maker woman got killed as well.
I'm not sure about that.
She was not involved in any way in the death of Lestat. But I guess they just assumed.
Yeah, fuck her.
No, but that guy could read minds. He would have been able to read her mind.
That's true, yeah. Okay, that's a little bit. That's a little bit of a hole
dickheads.
Right there. Yeah, I guess so.
Vampires aren't nice.
Not nice people overall, and they engage in that dreadful, gory form of theater that we've talked about many times. Grand Guignol. Is that something blood related, like sanguine?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I don't speak French, but I believe so. Yeah, theater of blood, I believe, or
something like that. Yeah. Sounds about right. Sounds like a Motley Crue record.
It does. So this was a thing. It wouldn't have been, obviously, real vampires killing real people on stage, but the people watching this show would have thought, oh, this isn't real. I don't know how they do it, but it isn't real.
And that's how they get away with their crime, is it's in plain sight.
Yeah, because it was a popular form of theater at the time, this very bloody, these short, horrific tales with lots and lots of gore. And so the idea is, well, what if those were all real and it was just vampires killing people in front of people? And
ECW.
That would be fucking extreme.
That makes it really funny too when you think about the Brood, and, Gangrel and Christian and all those that were kind of vampires.
Remember how Gangrel was the star and the two guys behind him were Edge and Christian? Future champions, future belt holders. Gangrel, nothing.
That's the guy we're putting our money on the front of this operation. Definitely Gangrel. The guy who got in front.
Those are real, by the way. His vampire teeth. Yeah, he had those done. He still has those to this day.
Way.
Yeah.
And he says, well, I used to be Gangrel.
You may remember me as the guy who spit blood into the air.
He did that. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he still wrestles, so he's still Gangrel, I guess.
He's a vampire. He's going to need that blood, though. He should have been swallowing that.
That's a good point. Vampires don't generally spit blood.
No. Yeah, they want to get it in them.
That's, the opposite of what they want to do.
Yeah. It would be like if the bushwhackers just threw that raw chicken instead of eating it. Oh wait, was it the bushwhackers or it was the Samoan dudes?
It was the Samoan dudes.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, the bushwhackers just licked kids' faces.
Kids, yeah.
Whoa.
Nothing weird about that.
Yeah. It's an Australian tradition.
Yeah,
lick a kid in the face, mate.
Have you been watching the Try Guys in Australia?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, they've got this Australian series right now. That's
really?
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah, you got to watch at least the one where the Try Guys go to they're zookeepers for a day.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. Really, really, really good one.
Right.
Those guys, good for them.
Yeah, good for them.
They're doing cool stuff, man. Yeah, so they got this theater of blood. They be killing people. They be walling people up. They be putting people in wells and letting them get burnt up by the sun. That's some great effects when that shit happens.
Yeah, Stan Winston made that. Ash model. Stan Winston did all the practical and makeup effects on this.
If you don't know Stan Winston, you might be a redneck.
You don't know Jack.
You might be a redneck.
You might very well be.
Because he's done fucking everything that you've ever loved.
Also directed Pumpkinhead.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Go check that out. Lance Henriksen.
Ed Hardy.
I forgot his name was Ed Hardy.
Yeah. I think it's Ed. I'm pretty sure it is.
It is. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, Stan Winston, amazing. And this movie has some fantastic special effects in it. Like, it's got some great practical shit, but it's also got some super rare 1994 CGI that's really
you can't even
good.
Really tell. Yeah, you can't even really see it unless you know it's there and you're looking for it. Because it's they blended it well.
Pretty fucking good. There's one scene in there. I'm not really sure how they did. It might be a robot.
Probably a robot.
It's that scene where Kirsten Dunst is really being mischievous, and she gives Tom Cruise those two like dead boys to feed on. And he like sucks their blood and stuff, and then he's like really, really, really fading. And do you notice how like his there's that scene where he's kind of like on the ground, like on all fours, and like his cheeks are sinking in, and his fingers are starting to like get skinnier and shit, like they're just going down to the bone. I don't know how they did that. That doesn't look like CGI. It looks like a real object.
I was gonna say it's probably like they overlaid film over top of each other.
I've got no
really
idea.
Sure,
I wonder if it's animatronic because he's not really making a lot of facial expressions or something. But like I said, his face and everything is like caving in, like he's like starving to death in fast motion. Really cool effects, very well done. And I even like the effects too, like later on in the movie whenever Louis like has that scythe and he's like carving up them vampires.
Oh, that's so awesome when
he clefts one in twain. And that I'm pretty sure is CGI. Well, obviously like the big like motion blur things that he does are CG, but
I think the cut is CGI, but when he's laying on the ground, that's definitely a model. They made it looks great.
It looks really really good, man. Yeah, I have no complaints about the visual effects in this. And even like later on whenever Tom Cruise comes back and he's like really shitty looking. He's been like living off crocodiles and stuff like that. He looks awesome. Looks awesome. And I love too, you know, this is one of those few movies in the entire echelon of vampire flicks. The fangs look good and they can talk through them. Yes. They got the fucking fangs right.
Yes. They really did. And I think maybe the only one who sounds a little different is Brad Pitt, but I think it's the accent he's trying to do.
That's
and
what
not
I think
the
too.
Teeth.
Yeah, I don't think it's the teeth. Because even like Kirsten Dunst, like a little kid,
she sounds
does not have any trouble talking to him.
Just fine.
And I don't think they like ADR'd it or anything like that. No. Like it sounds all very natural to me. But yeah, they finally managed to make fucking teeth that look right, that don't look like very obvious fake vampire teeth. They don't do the thing where they like open their mouth and they flip out like a switchblade or anything like that. Although they do go.
What is it? I want to talk to a vampire and find out why that.
I want to know when the first time was, because like there was no point in the book Bram Stoker's Dracula where it was like Dracula said. Yeah, like where did that?
I bet it was
an
accident. I bet a vampire was going to yell at another vampire, but had like a bunch of spit in the back of their throat.
Oh yeah,
and it came out that way, and then he just played it off like it was supposed to be intimidating.
I meant to do that. I'm like a wild animal.
Hey, you guys want to get in my Dracula? Huh?
Aww. How do you think this movie deals with like the vampire mythos and stuff?
Yeah, so that's interesting.
It plays up some tropes. It subverts some other ones.
Yeah, garlic, crosses, mirrors, all that.
Totally fine with
Totally fine.
We're totally okay with it.
Get that the hell out of here. Their only real worries are starvation and seeing the sun, which again goes back to my depression point.
Yeah.
That the two things that she probably feared the most was those two things.
Yeah.
Having to deal with making food because probably just didn't feel like eating.
That's true.
And having to deal with going outside.
Wow. You know what? Those are two classic I'm very depressed kind of syndromes when you look at it that way.
Yeah, so
interesting.
So to eliminate the other stuff is to ground it more. To say like, well, this is how like her essential idea seems to be that being a vampire is eternal torment, and that's what depression feels like. And so put the two together, boom, Interview with a Vampire.
For eternity, being depressed and fucking wow.
Yeah, because he never. That's the thing is Louis never progresses. He never gets over anything that's happened to him because he can't really.
Well, because that's the thing too is like anytime you're in those periods of very extreme depression, like it seems as though it will be eternal.
Yeah,
like you don't really look at that and go, in a week I'll be fine.
Right,
like,
you can't even look back on times when you've gotten over depression and go, I'll do that again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like there's no end in sight. This is my life now for all eternity. Yeah. So wow, that is very strong.
Yeah.
Point.
So the vampirism for Anne Rice seems to be associated with depression and associated with mental illness and dealing with,
loss, tragedy, etc.
I would say in losing a child, you probably feel like I've been around forever.
Yeah.
Like why not me? Why the child? So
right.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, it really means a lot too, I think, because Anne Rice, she was trying to make it as a novelist with the worst thing that ever happened to you has to be somewhat validating. It has to be like, at least I didn't go through all that for nothing. At least something came out of this that was worthwhile.
Now, one thing that they do play up that is typical vampire mythos is that they have to sleep in coffins.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I'm not... this is one of those things, man, that I was watching, and I was like, does it really have to be coffins, though?
It doesn't. I think that's just extending the metaphor of wanting to feel like completely surrounded and engulfed and not do anything. Because, you just be in a dark room. Like,
ultimately, in terms of function,
normal bed in a basement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's not as if a wooden box holds any particular power for you as an undead.
It just keeps the light out.
But that's ultimately the point, right? Yeah. Like, I'm just imagining that whenever these vampires finally reach the modern age, and things like
blackout curtains,
refrigerators started being delivered, and they had like refrigerator boxes. I bet they were like, "This is fantastic!
No, this is nice.
Finally, some room in here. I can stretch out.
You guys want to build a box fort?
Yeah, you can have. Like,
I'm getting a washer and dryer later.
Yeah, like a fucking like it'd be like hamster tubes.
Yeah,
of just all these.
My cousins and I, because my uncle was a contractor, he would always have like tons of these big boxes from washer and dryers and stuff like that he would install in the houses. And we built this huge like hamster tubes type of like fort. It was awesome.
I mean, but does that have to be...
That's what a vampire should do.
A coffin. Like, it totally doesn't.
It doesn't.
There's plenty of other really dark places.
Yeah, I really seriously could just be a room in a basement. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. You could have a water bed in there in the 70s. You'd be like top shit.
Be okay.
Yeah.
I think of like cave vampires.
Yes.
You could go back far enough in a cave where there's no light. And that's metal as fuck.
That really
cave
is.
vampires, trademark Dead
down.
Lovely right now. Because really,
cave vampire.
There's no reason why that couldn't work.
Ooga booga.
I mean,
Bite.
That's fucking cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I think there's a lot of options right there.
Yeah, I would say so. I think maybe... And I can see, like... It's the setup in the movie where there's, like, saying, no, not these tropes, not these tropes, not these tropes, but this one we have to do.
This one we're standing by.
And it needs like
we're doing
seems like there needs to be some explanation. Like, not only do we have to be away from light, but we have to be close to death or something like that.
Yeah, really. Or like it has to be a coffin that was used or something.
Right, yeah. If that was it, okay, fine. But there's no explanation for it. So it's like, well, why?
Yeah.
You just... And even like Kirsten Dunst, Claudia, she gets out in the middle of the day and goes to Louis' coffin. So like...
A little light's okay, I guess.
A little light seems fine. Yeah. I guess it's only direct sunlight that would be the problem.
Yeah. Man. I like their veininess. I like the contacts and stuff.
Yes. I wish it were a newer contact that actually moved with the eyes. Sometimes they're just
a little fixed.
Yeah. From time to time, Brad Pitt's looking two different directions.
Yeah, a little squirrely-eyed over there. Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I think they look cool. And one of the reasons
design.
they look so fucking cool is because, dude, The costuming in this movie is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The costumes are absolutely fantastic.
The only issue I had was with the 90s costumes.
Because they looked very, 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 very 90s.
They looked so 90s. It was just like, oh, ugh.
I know.
That fucking shirt that Brad Pitt's wearing with his suit with the little
corny.
button at the...
Fucking corny, man. But that's one of the things that I really like about this movie is because you're seeing them progress through different decades and eons and shit like this. Like
and they seem to fit in each decade.
Exactly. Like whoever the costumer was probably had a really great time.
I bet, yeah.
Getting to explore all these different decades of fashion.
That would be exactly what you'd want as a costumer, to be able to go back and try to duplicate these fashions.
Oh, yeah. Because that's the thing is, like, during some of the first time jumps that we see in the movie, it'll just be, 20 years ahead or something like that. So you're seeing, like, it's not like now where the fashion in 80 versus 2000 was completely different.
Yeah, it didn't change so radically,
change. Yeah, so I'm sure that they really got into exploring those gradual changes that happen to fashion. And, of course, the sets and stuff are fucking gorgeous, too.
Yeah. Looks great. The locations are... I mean, choosing San Francisco, New Orleans, and Paris as your locations.
Pretty good places. Good-looking places right there.
It's mostly shot on sets at Pinewood Studios, but...
No shit, at Pinewood.
Yeah, but Pinewood's so huge that you can duplicate pretty much anything. That's where they shot Mamma Mia. They made an entire Greek village.
Wait.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. All of Mamma Mia, that whole Greek village, is on Pinewood Studio.
Holy shit.
Really cool.
I did not know that. That's why they did The Shining, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Damn, man. They really knocked it out of the park.
They really
fantastic.
did. And I actually wanted to talk about the locations that are chosen because I think a more modern audience, younger modern audience, might not get what is being said when the movie opens in San Francisco. San Francisco in 1994 would have immediately been gays, homosexual. That's all people would have thought about in regards to San Francisco. Other than 1989 earthquake.
Yeah. Huh, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, now we don't think of it that way because it's tech. Now San Francisco is all tech. It's not
rice-a-roni tech.
Right, exactly.
The technology to merge noodles and rice. The two master carbs.
The San Francisco treat.
Oh my God, so sinister.
Yeah. But so immediately it would be this recognition
gay mecca.
Of gayness.
Huh.
New Orleans, thinking of that in the 90s as a representation of, and still to this day, of sin and excess
and debauchery. Yeah. Old world debauchery.
And then gay Paris again. Debauchery and sexuality. All of this. Yeah. So this movie is constantly not just with the closeness of the actors' faces to one another, but with the locations themselves, saying like, think about sex, think about gay sex, like, put that all together.
Yeah, the locales spell it out if the visuals and interactions of the male characters aren't, huh?
There is not a single male, female, physical attraction in this movie.
Oh.
The only women are food or plaything. The most interaction was between men, and it's mostly homoerotic.
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, because, I mean, Brad Pitt, again, talks about his wife and daughter, but...
Yeah, but we don't see him.
Well, there's that scene where he's with that prostitute right before he gets turned.
Right.
That's basically all
That's basically it. But he paid for her. She's a plaything. Yeah.
And then after that, he chooses a life of being a gay vampire.
Yeah.
He finds his true self.
Yeah, there's something going on with what this movie is saying. Neil Jordan specifically, I mean, with The Crying Game and a lot of his other stuff, he likes to explore sexuality and alternative sexualities, gender roles, all that stuff. So throughout this, he's exploring that. We also deal with some pedo vibes for sure.
You know, it's unavoidable. Like, you kind of have to talk about that. Like, it's never really shown that, like, Louis and Claudette are, like, in love or acting out anything physical.
He does say that he's in love with her and, like, she has his heart and stuff. And it's not in a childlike way that he seems to be talking about it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That is weird, I'll say that.
Even weirder is Armand's little sucking boy.
Oh yeah, he's got that little snack boy.
Offers to all who works for him.
Yeah,
but isn't a vampire.
But is a snack boy.
He's a snack boy. Yeah, he's the familiar, basically, as we saw in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
And I assume he is going to be turned when he's old enough, because Armand sticks to the rules and he's not going to turn him when he's too young.
Yeah.
But they are going to pass him around the room and suck on him.
But enough about Hollywood, am I right? Enough about Hollywood. Moving on.
I'm saying, like, the only sexuality in this is either homosexuality or pedosexuality. And on the record, nothing wrong with homosexuality. Yeah, but there's very much wrong with pedosexuality.
Tons wrong with that.
Yeah,
tons wrong with that.
But so they're exploring how not only are these people alternative in the way that they survive and the way that they live, but they're also alternative in the way that they get sexual joy. Because it seems like for a vampire, it's never about anyone but yourself. It's always about intaking, never letting anything out.
Okay.
So the vampires don't care about anyone else, really. But Louis does. Mm-hmm. Louis, for some reason, unlike all these other vampires who were very easily able to kill and allow others to be killed and have no real problem with it, Louis is not like that at all. In the first part of the movie. But by the end of the movie, it seems like he's fine with it.
Yeah, he's kind of going with the flow.
Yeah, it's like he stops talking about it about middle of the movie, and then we just have to assume he got cool with it and doesn't seem to mind it. And by the time he's talking to Christian Slater, he's very healthy, so he's been eating people.
Feeding, yeah.
And he says that he's feeding on people. He doesn't seem to have a problem with it anymore. So, like, it seems like maybe each vampire goes through this, though I doubt Lestat did. He, from the books, I know they call him the Brat Prince.
Okay.
Like, he's like, he was already terrible before he was a vampire. He was already this horrendous, like, expecting everyone to please him and everything to be about his pleasure. So becoming a vampire just made him, like, the full version of what he actually already was, which was sucking the life out of everyone else.
You know, I was just thinking, like, as we were talking right now, I was like, man, I wonder if the fact that this was made with these homosexual overtones, like I said, all the San Francisco stuff and all the sharing of blood and that almost being like a curse, if this is some kind of a commentary on like the AIDS crisis, but it was written in the 70s. So
that's
kind of
true. So it would be
accidentally became relevant, I guess.
I mean, they were probably, I don't remember when the gay cancer became a thing.
Yeah.
I think that was like late 70s.
But it's not our terminology, by the way.
No, that's what they called it back then, was the gay cancer.
Yeah.
I don't know. She probably wouldn't have had much knowledge of it. So this would be more about sharing something else. Sharing, I don't know. I mean, what is it Lestat is sharing with them, turning them into a vampire? He's sharing his blood. But he's sharing his curse, I guess, is one way to look at it.
It seems to be a gift and a curse.
He's not doing it to give them a gift. He's doing it so he's not alone.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, it really is, because he's just trying to build kind of a family.
Yeah, and he doesn't fit in with the other vampires.
Clearly.
Yeah, so he's making his own vampire family and his own rules.
I think that this movie does a really good job, too, of just showing how horrific and grisly it would be to feed on other human beings, and how it's not some sexy, pleasant experience for the person being bitten and stuff. Like, there's legitimate horror and shock and don't kill me, let me live.
Yeah.
Like, it gets pretty gruesome.
It really does.
In this movie, and I think that that's awesome that it does it that way.
It makes me squirm, because I don't like
getting in them veins.
None
of that, man.
I don't like it. So it makes me squirm, and I applaud it for that. No, not a lot of movies do that, even other vampire movies. So this one, I think I get, like, it's right on the line of sex and violence. Like,
it's
the
sexy
moment,
violence.
Yeah, the moment right up to the bite is sexual.
Yeah, and then it gets horrific.
Right. For one of them. But for the vampires, it's like, this is the best part.
Yeah, feeding time.
Yeah.
I kind of have this idea in my head that we think about vampires. We think about how they're sleek.
Mm-hmm.
They're always like so slim and sexy and ideal. Is it because they're on such a low-carb diet?
I would think so, and it's a lot of work, probably.
All that chasing people down. There's like lots of cardio, very little carbs. There's no carbs in blood, I would assume. Kind of a high-sodium diet, but...
Yeah, but no carbs.
The Asians have shown us that's fine to do a high-sodium diet, so it's pretty okay. Vampires are keto as fuck.
I'm thinking that's probably what it is.
Which brings me to my next movie concept.
Let's hear it.
CrossFit vampires.
CrossFit vampire.
I'm thinking that there's this club, there's this gym that this guy goes to. Trademark Dan Lovely.
Yeah.
He's going to this gym, he's working out, he's trying to get shredded. He just sees in the gym all the time there's these other guys that are there working out. They're there late at night. It's this big group of super pale dudes that are just jacked as fuck. I mean, dude, there's not an ounce of fat on any of them. And he kind of takes a shine to him. They kind of take him in. They're like, we're going to let you know the secret. It's drinking blood.
What?
It's like, what? What do you mean? That's impossible. No way. And they're like, no, bro. There's no carbs in any of it.
Whoa.
You ever heard of blood doping? It's kind of like that.
Kind of like that, I guess.
Only we're eating it.
Yeah.
I think this guy gets mixed up in this CrossFit vampire keto club.
All I can see
keto CrossFit vampires.
All I can see
starring
right
John
now
Cena.
is a montage of a vampire doing CrossFit and like he's doing bicep curls and we see him, then it cuts to the mirror and you just see the weight going up and down. He goes to pick up two weights, but the bars are crossed and he's like,
blah, blah. Like sport bottles, you know what I mean? Like sport bottles full of like, well, I mean the shit you drink is always just like red mystery
like blood,
fluid. They're like fucking squeezing their mouths and stuff like that.
That would be awesome.
You know, I think there's a lot of potential here for keto zombie, keto vampire. I think there's potential, right? Trademark Dead and Lovely. We're working on this right now. This is an idea in progress. If you see it anywhere else, they heard it here first. Think it can work? I think it can work.
I don't see why not. I think it's probably more of a comedy sketch than a full movie, but whatever.
It'll work.
It'll work.
That's all anybody watches these days anyway.
True.
What do you think about the soundtrack in this?
Really good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses at the end.
Guns N' Roses right at the end with the cover of Painted Black. No, not Painted Black.
It's Sympathy for the Devil.
Sympathy for the Devil, yeah.
One of those... Listen, guys. If we could make a short list of songs that should be retired from being allowed to be in movies, fuck me.
Yeah.
Get that goddamn song out of movies. I'm done with it.
It's way too obvious.
It's just too fucking obvious, dude.
Like, I already got that Lestat's the devil. I get it.
Yeah. Honestly, pretty much any Rolling Stones song can be retired from fucking soundtrack in movies. Please.
Yeah. Because
we're done with them. What else? Painted Black. That'd be great in this scene. No, fucking wouldn't.
It's been half a century since they started releasing music. We might want to move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I mean, not in our personal lives. Listen to the Rolling Stones all you want. I'm just saying for
have your
soundtrack.
Fun, Scorsese.
Yeah.
Have your fun. We know you like them. Whatever.
True.
But otherwise, the soundtrack in this is fantastic.
Yes, it's scored by the guy who did the score to Pet Sematary.
Oh,
Elliot
really?
Goldenthal. Yeah, he's done a bunch of other stuff.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of his early works. He's a little more seasoned by this point.
Okay.
And I think it's really good. I think it works perfectly well. And then that Guns N' Roses Sympathy for the Devil. It's too on the nose, but still a good cover.
The thing is, though, is with how corny the ending is, it like kind of works. I guess.
Yeah.
The ending of this is corny.
It is corny. Yeah.
Like fucking Tom Cruise popping up in the back seat. Like, really?
Come on.
I wonder if that's how the book ends. I'm not sure. I'd like to know if that's how it ends, because it's just like, it's pretty lame.
It is pretty lame. It's a pretty lame end.
Yeah, I'm not really nuts about that.
No.
What do you think about the fact that this movie doesn't really have I don't know how you describe this, like an A-B storyline? There's not really a clear beginning to end. There's not even necessarily
there's not
really
even a full character
development
or anything, really. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a character study of these vampires through several decades.
Yeah, and they don't really change. Louis still depressive. And
at the end of the movie,
Lestat is still villainous.
Yeah, the two of them are still alive.
Yeah.
It's like they met, some stuff happened, then they're still alive.
That's how you pitch this movie.
Yeah, that's the movie.
Two vampires meet, some stuff happens, and then there's an interview.
Or as you summed it up the other day, two gay guys try to adopt a kid. I don't know.
Yep. That is this movie. Two gay men adopt a kid. And it's almost a cautionary tale about that, too, where it's like, if you let two gay men adopt a kid, she'll never grow up.
It's not aging well. I'll tell you that. It is not aging well when you look at it with that.
Though I don't think that's what they were going for.
No.
But it is pretty much the story. Yeah.
But at the same time, kind of is.
Yeah.
I like this movie, man. This is one of those ones that, you can just kind of put on and watch, or just have it on and be doing other stuff. Because it's not necessarily like a lot of like seeds are being planted that if you missed it, it won't make sense when this thing comes back. Like it's not like watching the fucking damn it, what's the like crime gangster movie? It won like 1 million awards. I think Scorsese did it.
Okay.
A couple of years ago.
The Departed?
The Departed.
There you go.
It's not like watching The Departed, like when I watched that for the first time.
Yeah.
When I was like, I missed something like 10 minutes into the movie, so then the rest of the movie made no fucking sense to me. You can kind of have this on.
Yeah, this is a lot of set pieces. Like,
it is. It's just a bunch of set pieces.
Looks really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can tune in, you can tune out. Mm-hmm. It's an enjoyable watch for me. It is. You know, and it's gorgeous. Fucking
it really
gorgeous,
looks
man.
great. Still looks great. What
ultimately,
25 years later, still looks great.
Ultimately, not much happens.
No.
Not a lot of happening in this movie. Just kind of some stuff.
No, it is a movie that it's obvious that the book was setting up a world, and obviously she cashed in on that by making a lot more books after that.
And then Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned, the movie.
My God.
Not a good one.
1 year, we are going to fucking talk about that.
We'll have to do Queen of the Damned.
Rockstar Lestat.
Rockstar Lestat.
It is bad.
But though I imagine the book is probably still pretty good.
Got to be better than the movie.
Yeah, the movie's just not good. But this movie did a good job of setting up a world, but it doesn't give us a whole like, why does this movie exist?
Mm-hmm.
There's no point at the end where I'm like,
that was a story.
Glad if I hadn't watched this, I wouldn't have learned that.
Right.
But it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
And looks great. Well acted.
It does, man. Yeah. And it brought so much influence that would change, I think, the world of what we perceive as vampirism culture and stuff. I think that it brought us that sexy, effeminate, androgynous vampire that we saw in like Castlevania games and shit like that later on.
Yeah, definitely Castlevania, I think, was influenced by
Alucard, pretty boy.
There you go.
Pretty boy. Not pretty a hunk, Alucard. But definitely a pretty boy.
But yeah, he's definitely influenced by the books and then maybe even by the movie after 94.
Yeah.
Because, like Symphony of the Night and Aria of Sorrow really have more of that Victorian sort of element to them, and ruffles and handles and all that stuff. Yeah.
Symphony of the Night is my goddamn
favorite
game.
It's a great one.
Fuck, I love that game so much. You want to talk about a soundtrack on a video game?
Yeah.
Woo, Lord of Mercy.
Lord of Mercy.
Lord of Mercy. It's so good. I found recently on Spotify, there is some artist that does like music box versions of all these classic video game tunes.
Oh.
But it sounds like a fucking music box.
Okay.
And they've done a bunch of Castlevania shit. They did like Dance of Pails off of the Symphony of the Night soundtrack. It was one of my favorite pieces like ever.
Yeah.
Also, the Hit Points have a version of that piece you should definitely check out if you're into video game music and want to hear it interpreted in some beautiful Newgrass acoustic instrument versions. Check out the Hit Points. They got some good Castlevania shit on there. Find them on Spotify.
I believe you recently did some Castlevania shit.
That I did over there on my YouTube channel.
Were the Hit Points involved?
Two of the guys from the Hit Points were Eli Bishop and Matt Menifee, dear friends of ours that went with us to Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
Us plus Andy Wood teamed up to do this awesome cover of Wicked Child from the Castlevania soundtrack. Awesome. Thank you very much. It turned out great. I definitely want to do more of that stuff because I just love getting in to this vampire shit.
Vampire.
Any time of the year. Don't have to be no vampire.
That's true. It could be any time. It could be yes vampire.
Now vampire.
Tomorrow vampire.
When vampire?
Who knows?
Yes vampire.
Yes vampire.
I like this flick. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's the greatest of all time.
No.
But I think it's enjoyable, man. I like this movie. It's kind of long, but it goes by at a pretty even, brisk pace. Like the movie doesn't
not
really
a lot
have
of dragging.
No, it doesn't drag really ever to me. The only real like high points of action are when he's like chopping up vampires in the catacombs. That's about it, really. But it's just a good, easy watch, man. I enjoy this flick. I think if I'm getting into some ratings and stuff like that, this to me is probably, I'm gonna say it's a solid 7.5.
7.5.
7.5. One of my favorite vampire movies. Bram Stoker's Dracula, still numero uno.
Mm-hmm.
That's like really, really, really high on my list. And I love Near Dark and shit like that too. So this is a good one. It's pretty high up for me.
Yeah, this is like vampire melodrama in some ways.
Vampire melodrama. That is, soap opera vampires.
Yeah.
You know, romance novel vampires.
And it hits the... It really hits the Castlevania itch for me. It really does hit that. Just, I kind of want my vampires to be a bit overblown and a bit like foppish and dandyish, and I kind of want that. It's fun. So I think you're right. 7.5. Yeah, I'd say 7.5 sounds about right. Well directed, well acted, looks great. Still, will continue to look great.
Yep.
It's not gonna lose. It's never gonna, like, if the CGI still looks good 25 years later, I imagine in 50 years nobody's gonna be like, that looks bad.
That's the thing. Yeah, I think in the age that we're at now, where we're used to watching fucking 4K shit and all that stuff, if this movie CGI still looks good, I don't think it's ever really gonna fall off. I don't think.
So this is great, and it does make me kind of want to read the book.
Yeah,
I want to give it a shot. Maybe I'd like to see more of like what she was going through at the time, because it is interesting to me that a person who was going through not only the loss of a child and alcoholism and developing OCD, like in this deep depression, could create this and then an entire series of novels following it and still be able to go back and deal with it. Like,
it's got to be exhausting.
Got to be exhausting,
man. Well, cool stuff, man. Next week on the show, we're going to be talking about another vampire movie,
Blade.
We're talking about Blade, that OG Marvel franchise, that OG black superhero. Black Panther. What?
Tell
me about Blade.
Tell me about Blade. Yeah,
a little less of a family friendly grow up to be that guy superhero than Black Panther.
Yes, but also a real badass.
So badass you don't even pay taxes. It's been a long time since I watched this movie. Like, it's been a really long time.
I haven't seen it since the 2000s for sure. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, honestly. I bet I probably saw this movie when I was like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a long time since I saw this. Yeah.
It's been a long time since I saw the first or second, and I remember the third being not good.
I remember that too. I remember the second
one
being
I think
badass.
is the best. I think the second one is the best, but again, I haven't seen them in a long time.
Yeah, maybe I go back and it's just dog shit. I don't know. But I look forward to going back and checking this out. It'll be fun to rewatch that. That'll be coming on the show next week. Steve, in the meantime, if these people have been enjoying the show and they want to say thanks by giving us a transfer of money symbols, how do you think they could do that?
Well, they could head on over to patreon.com/dead and lovely. Yeah. You can become a $5 patron over there, and you'll get to submit a movie title for a random drawing each month. This month is filled with Patreon picks.
That's right.
So just get in there. Even if your submission doesn't get picked, we may have a vote or something like that. So go on over there, become a $5 patron. More than likely, we'll end up getting to your movie. Also, we got T-shirts.
Yeah, that's right. T-shirts. Get that merchandise.
Yeah, we're running low on some sizes, so if you want your T-shirt, get to me. Let me know what your size is, and I will get it to you. You can PayPal us on paypal.me/deadandlovely. Huzzah.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting us and buying that merchandise and supporting us on Patreon and stuff like that. You guys make our dreams come true.
You make my dream come true. Woo! That is actually true. You've made my dreams come true.
Oh, wow.
I had a dream of not having zero money.
You had a dream of mailing a shirt.
I did. I was like, well, if only.
If only I could mail a shirt to someone.
Yep.
You guys could follow us on social media, too, if you want to be like one of the cool kids and always know what's up over here at Camp Dead and Lovely.
Yeah.
Instagrams.
Dead Lovely Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Dead and Lovely Horror Movie Podcast group on Facebook. And also, we're on YouTube.
Yeah,
YouTube.com/Dead and Lovely.
YouTube millionaires, we are.
That's us.
That's right. So yeah, you guys be sure to follow us. Check into the show next week. Rate and review on iTunes. Helps us out a fucking ton. I've just seen a few reviews creeping up here lately. I need more reviews.
Yeah.
To help me make the donuts.
We don't want our reviews to be a creep.
Oh, no. To be a weirdo?
To be a weird.
Talk about another song I would love to just remove from movie soundtracks, cover band shows, anything.
Yeah. I bet Radiohead would love that, too.
I bet they'd fucking love
Yeah, because I know Tom York they won't play it at shows. When I did see Radiohead, Beck opened for them, and he played Creep.
Beck did?
Yeah, he was like, I know Tom's not going to do this, though. And then he started doing it, and he got to the high part, and he was like, I can't do that. And they stopped.
I like it. I back that 100%.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
He's my favorite Scientologist.
Yeah, a lot better than Tom Cruise.
Him or Lizzie Moss. Yeah, better than Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Fucking Billy Sheehan played bass for David Lee Roth.
He's
Steve Vai, all these guys.
A Scientologist?
He's like an old school, like 70s Scientologist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been with them a long time, man.
So he's like for real.
Yeah. Tom Cruise has been on that train a long time too, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's stuck. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. He and John Travolta are both stuck on it because
like
they've revealed something that they don't want anyone to know.
Seems like it'd just be easier in 2019 to be like, we're gay.
Yeah. I'm assuming whatever they're hiding is far worse than that.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Something came up nasty on that e-meter
Yeah,
scan.
because in 2019, to come out as gay would mean nothing. It would just be like, oh, okay, good. I bet you probably feel better now that you've said that.
Yeah.
But there has to be something worse going on. The Scientologists know.
Probably right.
Scientology.
Well, you guys be sure to tune in next week. We'll be talking about Blade. We'll see you guys then. Hope everybody is doing well and enjoying this lovely month of Novampire. You guys have been fantastic. We have been Lestat.
Yeah, Louie. It's me, Louie.
That's how we
Wacky vampire.
I'm Lestat. Blah, blah, blah. Bob Dylan as a vampire. What the fuck?
Let's just remake Interview with a Vampire, but instead of sexy voices, they have wacky voices.
Real wackadoo. Real wackadoo.
I'm Lestat. Want to be a vampire?
My name is Louie. I want to bite you. Trademark Dead and Lovely. I'll tell you what, Steve. I had myself an evening to remember today.
Yeah?
I took my first big city grocery trip.
Ooh, buddy.
To a place called, tell me if you've ever heard of this, Publix.
Publix. It's not Privates.
No.
Privates is that strip club.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right next door.
Spelled with an X as well.
The male strip club across the street from me where I live and watch them practice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's private. We went to a Publix. So I'm going to tell you this, Steve.
Yeah.
They've got a little everything there.
They do. Publix is a pretty good grocery store.
Mm-hmm. I was amazed. You have to go into a parking garage to get there.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
What?
They have this thing where you get in the parking garage, you take an escalator up to the store, right?
Whoa.
So that means whenever you're done shopping, you take an escalator down. Get this, though. They have this little rig that you put your buggy on. It's like a roller coaster for your buggy full of groceries.
I've seen one of these at the Target in Eagle Rock.
I've never seen anything like this in my fucking life.
It's pretty cool.
It's amazing. Mm-hmm. Steve, when I say they had everything there, I mean they had everything and everybody.
Everybody.
Uh-huh. I saw a woman there that was FaceTiming while she was grocery shopping.
I've seen this before.
I thought I'd seen it all.
Was she wearing earbuds or just out loud?
Just out loud.
Yep, I've seen this.
Living loud and proud.
I saw a guy one time in line at a Ralph's, which is Kroger in California. And he was talking to a girl. He had her on speakerphone, and she was pouring her heart out to him about how her boyfriend was abusive. Jesus. And he's standing with 20 people right in earshot, just talking loudly to her. And I wanted to crawl into a hole. Yeah. Just like, I don't want to be here.
But also eavesdrop.
Well, yeah. Also, like, man, why is she telling this guy? Like, the whole time he's just like, yeah, it sucks. Like, good God, you can find somebody better to tell.
I heard a woman there that was speaking with an English accent.
holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like ask her to make you an English muffin or something to prove her Englishness?
I checked out her cart. She had biscuits.
What?
English muffins.
Mm-hmm. Marmite? Any Marmite in there?
Marmite. She had that. What's that British cereal? Wheatex or whatever?
Yeah. Wheatex or
something like that.
Yeah.
I saw a woman there, and I can't confirm this.
Uh-huh.
I saw a woman at the Publix. I think she was a lesbian.
Uh-oh.
They have everything there. I don't know, Steve. Okay. She just had that air about her.
Like you both looked at a woman and then nodded to each other. And it was like, we get it.
It was like that.
Yeah.
They had a little bit of everything. It was truly
Sounds like they only had women, though, except for you.